Hi, everybody. This is Tyler, and this is GauntletCon 2018. Woohoo! And this is actually one of the last of the play slots for GauntletCon. And if you guys out there are like me, you have probably gotten to that point where you've played a ton of games and you're getting those last few in, and have had a lot of fun. And this one we're going to be playing tonight is Monster of the Week, All or Punished. And All or Punished is a scenario written by Ollie Jeffrey, who's a wonderful person. Love Ollie. He's a master of horror. He puts out a lot of really cool, spooky games. And he wrote this scenario for Monster of the Week for Codex Hell, which, by the way, we currently have the Codex Volume 1 in Kickstarter. So anybody who happens to watch this before October ends, you should go and kickstart it. And there's even a pledge level where I'll be running this same scenario. I'll be running it in 2 sessions, which will give a little bit more time for it. We've got 4 hours tonight. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I want to start by saying we have the Gauntlet inclusivity policy in place. And what that really means is we're here to support each other. We're friends at a table. We are generous and taking care of each other. And we're open to everyone. And along with that, if something gets too disturbing and you need a minute, you can always say, I'm going to turn off my camera a sec. I'm going to walk away, but I'll be back. Or you could say, for me, I think I'm going to walk away. That's perfectly fine. But along with that, we're also going to have the X card. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, the X card is there if something gets personal or, gets to be where it's destroying your fun, or if something's just, it bothers you to have a part of the game. And what you can do is you can put something up like this, that. You can put something in chat. You could say to me, hey, Tyler, I think I want to X that. There are no questions asked. What we'll do is we'll just, I may ask for a clarification. I might do that. But just to know where we're going. But I'll rewind it up, reframe it, and we'll move forward. These are here to make sure we all have the best time possible and we all feel safe in what's going on. Now, I've already told our players here that this is a disturbing scenario. It is designed to be creepy, and it has some torture. So warning for folks at home, we're going to see some disturbing things. So for your safety as well, remember, you can always turn it off. But with these tools in place, I want you all to feel like you could use them, bring them out. Point is to have fun. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the intro to this this scenario, and then we're going to find out who our players are picking for their playbooks. So, All or Punished. Francis Tillerson was handsome, not quite matinee idol handsome, but certainly a returning character in a soap opera handsome. He was charming, he had the most open smile, and he did charity work. He volunteered at least once a month at the soup kitchen that ran out of St. Evelyn's Church, feeding the city's homeless. And when he finished his shift, he would track down whichever of the homeless women he found most attractive that evening, invite them back to his apartment to sleep for the night, and torture and murder them. He was able to operate like this for years because nobody was really looking for missing homeless women. And from 1974 to 1978, it's estimated that he murdered more than 50 women and girls. He was eventually arrested when one of his intended victims escaped and identified him to the police, which quickly led to the discovery of human remains in the multiple chest freezers that filled most of his apartment. Despite insurmountable evidence against him, Francis maintained his innocence throughout the trial and during his years on death row so that he could mount multiple appeals. It was very important to Francis that he escaped the death penalty. He worked out of St. Evelyn's soup kitchen because that was the church he'd attended as a child. And though he didn't act like it, he still believed every word he'd heard there. He was convinced that on his death, he would be condemned to hell. On a cold February morning in 1984, Francis Tillerson was executed by lethal injection. And then, of course, he went to hell. Now, what we're going to be starting with is that here, and we're playing in the in Chicago. And the year here is 2000. I'm so sorry. I had mixed up my little page there. There we go. 2017. And there's started being reports coming out of young women and girls going missing around St. Evelyn's Church all over again. The first couple, you know, it's Chicago. People go missing. First couple didn't attract a great deal of attention. Then as more began to disappear, rumors began to spread, and the sensationalized press began to bring up Frank Tillerson's name and talking about a copycat killer who was out there trying to follow in Frank's footsteps. Now, it's only been about 2.5 weeks, but all of you have heard about what's going on. And about a week ago, a body turned up for one of the first girls missing, and then 2 nights ago, a body of another one. Altogether, there have been over 6 girls and young ladies go missing in this area. And now everyone is attributing it to this copycat killer. So, that's our hook. That's what has gotten all of you, brought this to your attention. I'm going to come down. I think I'm going to start with you, Sarah, if you don't mind. Find out what playbook you're interested in. So what you thinking of playing? And introduce yourself and your pronouns, please.
Sarah, she, her. I'm living in New York, but from California. Yeah, main things. I was looking at the professional playbook.
Awesome.
But if anyone else is dying to have it, let me know.
All right. Sabine, why don't you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Sabine. I'm from Germany. I've been with the Gauntlet for a year now. And I am looking at either the expert or the wronged or a playbook.
All right. And Ryan, introduce yourself and maybe what playbook you're looking at.
I'm Ryan, obviously. I use he, him pronouns. I'm in Alaska. Woo. And I'm looking at the Snoop or the Flake, probably. Although I don't think there's anyone here that I would go, no, I won't play that, and then rage quit out.
Fantastic. And Alex, introduce yourself, and do any of those strike your fancy?
Hey, I'm Alex, they, them. Oh, it's a real tough choice, but I think I have this super wronged that's calling out to me.
All right, so we have a couple of thoughts here then. We have 2 folks looking at the wronged and 2 folks looking at the Snoop. But it sounds like you got yours, Sarah. I think you're good to go.
If someone else wants to take the professional, I'd also be down for the mundane.
I'm totally fine with being the expert, and you can be the wronged, Alex.
Want to do that?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, and Ryan, so which one of those are you going to settle on?
Oh no, no one's fighting me for my choices. What am I going to do now? I guess I'll be the Flake, so I don't just copy Patrick Snoop, because he was awesome.
That's right. Ryan, you actually played in the second session of this that I ran once before, didn't you? So, sounds like we've got our playbooks decided. And looking at those, Ryan, could you do me a little favor if you're able? Do you know how to decrease the ones that we aren't using?
I'm already hiding the columns we don't need, so way ahead of you.
Thank you very much. So, with the ones we've taken, go ahead and if you could think of a character name and your player name, and kind of give yourself an idea of what you look like. And there's some suggestions if you look at the playbooks in our folder, and kind of looking down through the moves, what we have there. And we're going to do an abbreviated version of the history. Normally, we would do a connection with everybody. But in this case, what I've been doing, and I really like, is we have you give one and you receive one. And that'll get us in a little quicker, but it'll still bring us a bond. And what we're trying to do is make sure that everybody has one that they're giving out and that they've received. And the easiest way to do that is to not pick someone who's already given until you have no other choice. And that way we would end up working our way around. So you'll see on the playbooks a list of suggested history questions. And when we end up, what it'll mean is that every player will have, or every character will have a connection with 2 people, and 1 person that they don't know so much. And then once we set up our bonds, we'll kind of decide which 2 characters will start off together. And then we'll bring the whole party together after kind of an introduction scene of 2 and 2. And that seemed to have worked fairly well. I didn't mention before, but it's probably pretty obvious. I have a very thick Southern accent. Along with that, it's late and I haven't got a ton of sleep. So I may even sound a little slurry. If I say something and you do not understand it, say, Tyler, what the heck did you just say? And I'll repeat it. I'm hoping the coffee's going to kick in very quickly, though, and I'll be full of tons of energy. So, why don't we start going around and setting up some history questions? And the easiest thing to do is look over your choices, find one that you like, and you can either offer it up or you can suggest someone that, hey, I think you'd be good with this one. Of course, it's up to that player to take it, and then we'll have built these up. So, Sarah, is there one of your history questions you'd like to throw out? Actually, I apologize. Why don't we go ahead and first hear a little bit about your character, and then have your history question come out. So tell us a little bit about your professional.
All right. Her name is Jane. She's with a government agency of some sort. I haven't settled on one yet. Would FBI be okay, or?
Certainly.
Okay. She's with the FBI. Has been for maybe 10 years. And they've got some sort of special agency or squad that they send out for the weirder things. It's very hush-hush and no one talks about it. Yeah. Got a picture.
Ooh, awesome, a picture.
Do we have a space for pictures here or no?
You can put it down underneath the character, or if it's small enough, you could set it by your name, but probably at the bottom of the column underneath your gear and notes.
Okay. Didn't work.
Did not want to add an image?
No, it's just coming up as text.
That's odd.
I might be doing the code
put
wrong.
the equal sign before image, and it should work. I only know this because I always get it wrong like twice before it works.
Yeah. Oh, it's tiny. Okay.
You should.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
Yeah,
that'll work. Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So, since we've heard a little bit about your character, and probably to make it easier for you to throw out a hook question, we probably should go down and have everybody give a little idea of their character. That way you'll know something about them. So, Sabine, why don't you tell us about your character?
My character is Darian Young. Darian is, well, a guy and mid to end 40s. He is a black man from Chicago. He wears old-fashioned clothes. He seems sometimes like kind of librarian, but a bit standoffish, actually. He's not the kind of guy who's really warm and fuzzy. He's not a warm and fuzzy librarian. And he wears a gun. Yeah. Is that okay, or do you need more? Do you want to know about my dark past, for example?
Yeah, and about how old is he?
I said mid to end 40s.
Okay.
Mid to end 40s.
All right. And yeah, let's hear a little bit about your dark past. What brought you into pursuit of the supernatural?
I think I was into some kind of voodoo things when I was younger, because I thought it might give me some kind of edge, bring me some kind of luck. And then I got drawn into this whole thing where I was with people who started summoning stuff from not so good places, and I kind of get out when it got too heavy, when somebody suggested, hey, we could do some human sacrifice. That was the point when I said, hey, let's not do that. And then things got a bit bloody, and ever since then I've learned, I've met some people who actually taught me stuff about the supernatural, but I'm still, I've done stuff.
I gotcha. Okay. And do you go hunting the supernatural? I mean, is it something you actively go and do?
Yes, I actively, it's actively something I do. Usually I try to find people who are younger and are starting that slow slide into summoning stuff or making deals with stuff, and dissuade them by looking at them sternly. And,
All right.
but I will also go out and hunt stuff, sure.
Okay, dope. And Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Oh no, now I have to settle for definitely sure. Okay, so I'm going to play Julian Walsh, who looks pretty well put together, but like he thinks he's significantly cooler than he is. Tendency to wear like a leather jacket and mirrored sunglasses and stuff, and you just kind of go, oh, you're that guy. You think you're something and you're not. But he's a big deal on the internet, especially on, yes, Alex, I love the glasses. Especially on circuit, I guess, forums dedicated to people speculating that maybe Frank Tillerson isn't dead. I mean, copycats, we don't know, but we're going to get to the bottom of it, because, I mean, the cops aren't gonna. Who are you going to trust to do things if not the internet? We know. I mean, the FBI. The internet, that's where it is. We're crowdsourcing this.
Excellent. Fantastic. And Alex, how about tell us a little bit about your character?
I am playing Izzy Everett. Izzy's again, long blonde hair and a jaw that could crack nuts. With like baggy clothing all the time to hide all the miscellaneous weapons, you know. I think Z had a sibling who went missing, and Z thinks it was because of Frank. And Z was trying to find out what had happened, but before Z could do anything, he was caught. There's just nowhere for this aggression to go. So now it's finally time for release, copycat or not.
Excellent. And did Izzy keep up with like watch all the stuff about Frank's trial and like that whole appeal period, kept up with all of that stuff?
Always.
And after that, I mean, it's been, and this is, kind of worth noting because, for your age, this has been 30 something years now since then. Have you, did you go out and decide that because of what Frank did, you are going to stop other people like him? Or did you decide, have you just been seething with this anger ever since? What do you think?
I reckon there's definitely been some bouts of vigilante justice.
Excellent.
Like, hear anything that's even remotely similar to the Frank cases, let's get the shotgun out, go out and fix problems.
And my guess is that you don't worry about the police as much as making sure these sort of animals are off the street, right?
Yeah, I mean, good and evil first, law second.
Excellent. All right, then. Well, sounds like we've got a little idea of what everybody's like. So I'll come back to you, Sarah. What history question would you like to throw out for Jane?
I'm looking at they have worked with the agency in the past successfully for either Izzy or Darian. Darian might make the most sense, but Izzy would be interesting.
What do we
I'm
think?
certainly down.
You want to take that one, Izzy?
Yeah, I can take that one.
All right. So go ahead and put Izzy down for that one. And I want to know, Jane, you almost certainly know that Izzy takes
Liberties.
the law in his hands. Have you covered up for Izzy before, or what do you think has happened with that?
Depends. I mean, her Zier's way of dealing with things also gets things done. And I think I'm willing to cut just some slack because of that. But like if Zier ever went completely off the rails or whatever and just went off with that shotgun, there would be a point where I would stop. We just haven't quite found that point yet.
Izzy, what do you think of Jane? Do you have the same opinion as most cops, or is there something a little different about Jane?
I mean, most cops are good for nothing, but Jane, she knows what needs to be done, and she's willing to let me do it. So, good in my books.
Nice. All right, then. So we'll move to you, Izzy. What history question would you like to throw out? And that can be to either Julian or to Darian.
I mean, do either of you want to have also lost a friend or relative to these monsters?
Ooh. That's a neat one.
Sure.
Nice.
All right, then. So, Sabine, who did Darian lose?
I think maybe it should be a woman, so maybe his let's make it his daughter.
Now it's going to make Julian pretty old because remember this 30-something years ago. Unless it wasn't Frank Tillerson, if it was a different serial killer.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just recently. It was something that had happened actually.
No, now it could be that you've lost someone.
Okay, in that case, maybe I'll make him a bit younger actually, and say it was his mother. who was killed by him. And that would actually explain why he went into this whole voodoo stuff.
That's excellent. So
Cool.
we could figure, actually, if you want to stay in your mid-40s, then you could figure you were like 8 or 9. And 36, 37 years ago.
Yeah,
Frank,
that's totally cool.
All right.
He killed my mother. Asshole.
So, Izzy, do you think you tracked down Darian because of this, or and came to him saying, making that connection, or do you think that Darian came to you?
I think I definitely would have been searching people out. So you can see us meeting that way.
And how long ago do you think? How long ago do you think y'all met?
Oh, it probably would have been closer to the time of like the original incidents. So I guess it's probably like 30 or so years ago.
All right. So when y'all were in your kind of late teens as the end of the appeals process had ended, and Frank was finally being sent to the electric chair. All right. So
cool.
Sabine, what history question do you want to throw out?
I want to throw out the question that maybe what's his name? Julian? Julian came to me for advice, and my advice actually got them out of trouble. So I have to ask you, Ryan, what kind of trouble was that?
Trying to think of trouble that I would have come to you for advice, and that doesn't involve me getting murdered by somebody who might have snuck out of hell.
Yeah, pretty much like that.
Think it had something to do with some of these cults that you kind of keep an eye on?
Ooh, all right. I forgot that you had a creepy cult background, even though that was just stated.
And I'm keeping out an eye for all these cults, creepy cults and occultists that creep around Chicago. So maybe you were investigating them.
Yeah, probably at one point I came to you with like a full-fledged paranoia board connecting everything, saying, I'm pretty sure there's a cult. And you're like, not only is there a cult, but you really need to not go investigate this place tomorrow night because they will murder you. Sort of thing.
Yeah, something like that. Right.
Okay, that sounds perfect. And so probably the two of you have, over the course of a couple of different times, encountered each other as, in the course of these cult investigations. That sound good?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Julian, he's a bit over his head, but he has good instincts. And he's a good investigator. So that's useful.
All right, then. So it comes to you, Julian. You're giving out the last one, and that needs to go to Jane.
So I've got two options that I like pretty well. Either we went through hell together, meaning like we served in the military or something, or all signs pointed to working together, so I found them, and now I work with you. And I'm not sure how you feel about that.
What you think, Jane?
I like the idea of you working with me, but like I do not acknowledge this in any way, shape, or form. You just like send me stuff.
Yes. I am totally down for that.
Wonderful. Okay.
I'm basically with the FBI. I mean, I've sent in tips. They haven't blocked my address.
I'm sure you tell people that when you're asking questions on occasion, right? A consultant. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to frame up where two of you are already coming together because you're coming after these copycats. You're coming to find out what's going on. So, looking at your history, who do you think, Ryan? Which of your two people you're connected to do you think you would be going to as we start this off?
Sorry, I was finishing typing my history sentence before I forgot how it ended.
Oh, I'm sorry. I suppose I should have been nicer and not picked on you first.
I mean, that's fair. Pick on me, whatever. I'm used to it. I probably am going to go to Darian because he knows stuff and he doesn't act like I'm just some weird dude from the internet. I mean, maybe he thinks that, but he doesn't do it to my face.
I don't think that. I mean, I know so many weird dudes, you hardly stick out.
All right. So, Alex and Sarah, do we feel like Izzy and Jane? Are y'all cool with the two of you starting this off together?
Yeah.
Although, are you based in Chicago?
I am now. Do you travel around normally, Izzy? Are you kind of a mobile going from hotspot to hotspot, or do you have a kind of home base?
I think it's constantly moving around, both in the sense of like, gotta travel the world, meeting out justice, and also I don't want to get caught by the cops.
That makes sense. And, when these people are bringing up Frank's name again, that's certainly going to get your attention. All right. So, giving a little quick thing, and then we're going to hit these intro scenes with us all together. All of these disappearances and murders that Frank did back in the day, ooh, bless you, were within about 2 blocks around St. Evelyn's Church, which is a Catholic church in Chicago. And this is in the neighborhood of the Chicago Heights, which is kind of southwest of Chicago proper. And St. Evelyn's is an old Catholic church, probably dates to right around when the Great Fire was. And this neighborhood had been a place where the early immigrants to Chicago had come. It was some German Catholics, some Italian Catholics when it was originally people moving there. And they were sort of blue-collar people. As the years went on, it became a real close-knit community with the church at its center. When Frank, in the 70s, began these murders, it brought a horrible spotlight to the area. And some of the families moved out, and having a serial killer in your neighborhood dropped the property values, and the neighborhood got a little bit kind of threadbare. However, the last few years, the last 10, 15 years, new people have been moving in. And these have been primarily people from Mexico and South America. And they come here because St. Evelyn's has a very big reputation as a huge part of the community. And they came somewhere where their faith was something that, was a big part of the area. So there are still these older families that have lived there kind of for generations, but mixed in with them are these newer folks who have just moved in. But the one thing that holds them all together is still St. Evelyn's. I'm going to ask you, Izzy, and you, Darian, if your relatives were killed in this area, did that mean that you lived around here when you were kids? Izzy, are you from the St. Evelyn's neighborhood?
Oh, I think we're from the surrounding area. But we were kind of like, my sister at least, was like running away from home.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense.
General vicinity, but didn't have a house in this 2-block radius.
Gotcha. And I'm guessing then you didn't really go to St. Evelyn's. That wasn't like your church. No. How about you, Darian? Did you grow up in the neighborhood?
No, I think we came from South Chicago, but a little bit more from the east. But my mother, she went to the soup kitchen because she was getting food there, and that was something she needed.
All right, and Frank saw her and followed her.
Yeah.
All right, so so you also didn't yourself go to St. Evelyn's?
No, no, I never went to church afterwards anyway.
Okay. So I'm going to start us off with, I think we're going to start with Izzy and Jane. Jane, has the agency sent you to investigate this, or have you decided on your own to come and look into this?
Oh, they've sent me. I couldn't get away for that long without people noticing.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask you, where are you when you see Izzy out on the street?
Probably it's like my first day in, and I've been driving all night, or I just flew in, but it was an overnight flight. And it's like my hotel motel thing is down the street from this diner that the front desk recommended, and I'm walking there.
All right. Izzy, are you walking down the street? Do you have a vehicle? What are you, as you're driving into the St. Evelyn's neighborhood, or coming into the St. Evelyn's neighborhood, well, how did you get there?
Yeah, I think I've got like the travel van, which I sleep in / store all of my crap in.
Is it super recognizable?
Oh, I think I intended it to be this like plain white van that you could see anywhere, but it's got like dents and scrapes and like some tags on it, like looking real worse for wear.
All right then. So Jane, you saw this van, and I mean,
like there's a tag on it that I put there.
Excellent. So did you flag down Izzy, or knowing that? Well, I want to ask Izzy, did you ever tell Jane about your connection with Frank, about your sister?
I think I did.
All right. So, Jane, seeing Izzy there, you gotta know.
Yeah, and I think when I see the car pass by, because we've probably exchanged numbers, I just take out my phone and call you up as you like stop at a red light or something down the street.
Izzy, the phone rings as you're stopped at this stoplight.
I have no respect for the law, so I'll answer the phone.
You're in town.
I am. Well, travel's fast, huh?
Oh no, I just saw you drive down the street. Can't miss that van. Turn around.
No, it's
the diner, about 100 feet back.
Gotcha.
Do you whip a Yui?
Whip a Yui.
You and pull up to this diner, and as you probably double park, but still, as you park the van, you see Jane standing there at the door waiting on you.
I've already gotten us a table.
Oh, okay. So as you head into the diner, there's Jane sitting in a booth down the way.
Somehow I've already acquired coffee in the 5 seconds since I called you.
With an incredibly deadpan face. It's like, oh,
sunglasses.
What brings you here? Gotta have sunglasses.
I don't have any props. Yeah, so I just like gesture to the seat across from me. It's a booth, of course.
Of course. Yeah, take a seat.
Probably the same thing that brings you here.
Think we can work together on this?
Well, I've got a meeting with the Chicago PD in the afternoon at 1. You're not coming.
Come on, I can be good for what, 2 hours?
All right. Where are you staying?
The van.
Where are you parking?
Right there.
All right, I'll come by for you about 12:30 then.
Sounds good.
Have
Good to see you.
Same. You been in town long? We should compare notes.
Just walked up. It's a bit late, so I can use any help I can get.
All right. Let's go back to my hotel. We can do this now. I've got some emails, some notes from the PD they sent over. I'll tell you what I know.
Sounds good.
As the two of you walk out and, I'm guessing, hop into the van.
Oh, no.
Oh, no? Okay.
I am a federal agent. I will.
Do you,
no,
do you
no,
have
no.
a car?
Anything
My
that would
tag
identify
van
me
is
as
too good
such.
for you.
But I have some self-respect.
All right. Then taking a cab or walking?
Well, my hotel's just down the block, so.
Okay. And so you head off to what's probably, considering this neighborhood, one of those little corner kind of motel sets. No real nice hotel here.
Okay. I'm disappointed in the FBI.
But it does have the benefit of they don't ask many questions. I'm going to scoot over to, let's see, Julian. We know that, this is going to be a hell of a story. So what made you decide to give a call to Darian?
I mean, lists of Frank Tellerson's victims are public record, and Darian being tied into there probably shows up in some old articles or something. I assume we don't talk about that, but he seems like the sort of person with the sort of weird knowledge that would be appropriate to come to. And I'm like, so there's either a really good copycat or I don't know what kind of woo, but you might.
So did you give Darian a call, or did you just go knock on the door?
Probably wanted to call ahead or send an email or something instead of just showing up saying, so how about you tell me about your sordid past?
You probably know that it's better to give him a call. I mean, he has email, but he isn't a regular email person.
Yeah, that sounds fair. So yes, I definitely called.
Cool. Yes.
So you get this phone call, Darian.
Yeah, and I'm answering and I'm saying yes.
Hey, it's Julian.
Julian.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So I imagine you've noticed the patterns in missing person cases around Chicago lately?
I have, yes. I see you have too. Maybe we should talk in person.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the sort of thing you do over the phone.
Yeah, exactly. So, you want to come by?
Sure. Same place as last time?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I'll flip shut my burner phone because I'm not letting anyone trace me. Toss it and get a different one.
The government knows, nonetheless.
Tyler, I've got a beginning of the mystery move.
Mm-hmm. I think you have yours, and I believe that Julian has his as well. So what I think I'm going to have us do, though, is we're going to roll those right after we have the two of you meet.
Okay.
This is sort of that little intro, and then we'll be starting the mystery, and we're going to roll those, and then we'll take our first break.
Okay,
So,
fine. Great.
So, Julian, you arrive over. Is this do you have a house
Yes, I have a mansion, actually. Don't ask where I got it from. It's a long story.
Oh my!
Used to be haunted.
Got it on the cheap.
When I say used to, well, don't go into the attic. Whatever you do.
All right. So you come up and there's Julian on the front doorstep, Darian, and do you invite him in?
Sure. I don't think he's a vampire. I've made that test before.
I imagine the first time they met, there was probably a vampire test. Just open the door and stare at him.
Come in.
Yeah, great, thanks. And I've got like a big binder where clearly I printed out a bunch of stuff to show you because you don't seem like the type for me to just whip out an iPad and say, so look at it yourself and have that work.
Yeah. So these murderers, they remind me of Frank Tillerson. You know who that is, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the MO matches.
Yes.
Except for the whole dead part.
Yeah, except for the part where he was working at the soup kitchen.
Yeah, which...
Do you know I met him?
You did?
Yeah, I was a little boy, actually, but my mother used to go there every once in a while, and she took me once, and he seemed nice.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people said about him.
Yeah, well, he wasn't, though.
Yeah, I kind of gather that.
No. You probably found out that my mother was one of his victims.
Yeah, I mean, didn't seem like the sort of thing you lead with, but yeah, that did turn up. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to get that elephant out of the room. So I have a bit of a personal interest in this case, you might say.
Yeah, and you being the sort who knows this sort of thing, it seemed like you were the only logical person to go to.
Yes, well, I just hope it's... I don't know if I hope it's a copycat or a ghost. I don't know.
I'm not sure which of those is the better option.
Neither am I. I mean, it could be a totally mundane person.
Yeah. Mundane, fucked up person. But...
Yes, well, but monster is monster. So, I know a person who is also connected to his old murders. I will call.
As you say that and you're kind of reaching towards your phone, you slip into your memories, Julian. Or, y'all's names are so close. Darian.
Sorry.
It's all right. Darian, you slip into your memories, and you could see Frank's face as you're thinking about it. You'll note down at the bottom of the character keeper, there's an NPCs and places. If you'd like to pull that up, you can see Frank Tillerson. You'll see some other people who'll be popping up as well. And I will say that so far, our monster hunters are a rather attractive crew. These pictures y'all have, my goodness. But why don't you go ahead and roll that dark past?
Oh, cool. I rolled with weird, right?
That's correct.
That's +1. Very nice. I've got an 8.
All right. With an 8, you get to ask one question from this list.
Well, I want to say, what black magic do I know that could help here? And since we're only playing for 4 hours, I will do that. What
All
black
right.
magic do I know that could help here?
There's really, the likely, Frank was murdered. I mean, was executed. You probably, you would have been informed when the execution was. You knew people who got to witness it. I don't know if you could have even witnessed it.
I don't know if I was old enough to go, actually.
Probably not. You probably were like 16 or 17.
Yeah, right. And I might have wanted to go, but, well, I couldn't.
Did your dad go? Or was your dad
Who's my dad?
life?
Who's my dad? No,
Gotcha.
I don't have a dad. I was probably in the foster system by then and having troubles of my own, so, well.
Well, then, either this, the most logical thought is that this is obviously a copycat.
Yeah.
But if it isn't, if it's Frank, somehow he's come back. And you're certain if anyone deserved to be in hell, it was Frank Tillerson.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have in the past been able to consult with creatures from hell. You could certainly find out if you were willing to try. As you pick up the phone, and I'm guessing you're fixing to give a call to Izzy?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I'm going to slide over, though, to you, Julian. Why don't we have you do your connect the dots move?
Oops. I'm ruining everything. Oh, no. Okay.
And I'm guessing probably you've got your binder there. And so as Darian's getting on the phone, you've started opening it up.
Yeah. Open it up and then fold, displaying the big paranoia board that I've condensed down for travel. Unfortunately, I rolled a 3, which plus any amount of sharp is still a miss.
Oh, goodness. Now, you could use a luck. I mean, you've got 2.
There's no chance that 2 terrible things are going to happen to me beyond this.
I mean, what's the likelihood?
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is the worst thing that's going to happen to me all day. So I don't spend a luck.
All right. That gives you a full 12. So you've got hold of 3. You can use your hold at any time during the mystery to ask any of those questions. If you'd like to ask something now, feel free. If you'd like to hold it until the evidence pops or something pops that you want to use them for.
I have one that I can ask now, which is
All
when
right.
and where will the next critical event occur, as I'm staring at my notes and seeing patterns.
You're looking through and, you've kept your ear to the ground because the police, people are going missing. The police, they don't pay attention to that, and with somebody like Frank Tillerson waiting 24 hours, you might as well be signing their death certificate if you're waiting 24 hours. So you've kind of you've probably been around the streets, talked to some of those street kids, some of the ladies and gentlemen who ply their business in the back alleys. And you've noticed somebody's been going missing every 3 nights. Tonight would be the 3rd night. And what you think, what you feel like now, and clearly you'd have a better idea than any of these so-called professionals in the police department. But every one of them that you think is, part of this, they had been to St. Evelyn's Fellowship Hall to eat before they disappeared.
stab a finger down on it and say, they're centered around St. Evelyn's again. And the pattern holds. He's gonna strike tonight. Or she, or they, whoever it is, doing it this time. It's tonight.
As he says that, Izzy, your phone's ringing, and it may not completely surprise you to see that it's Darian that's calling you.
I'll pull out my phone and say, hey, is it Darian or Damon? Darian. My
Darian.
bad. Hey, Darian. Is
Hey.
this about what I think it's about?
Are you in Chicago?
Yeah.
So it's about that, yes.
Yeah.
We think it might be centered around St. Evelyn's again. And we also think that whatever that is might strike again tonight. So, you want to team up?
Sounds great.
I've
I
got
just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Cool. I've got an investigator with me.
You mean, what? One of the good ones? Or
A person who's good at talking to people and finding out things, which I'm not.
well, if you think they'll help.
Yeah. Worked with him before.
Oh, that's good. Bring him along. The more the
Sure.
merrier, right?
I don't think Mary is how I would describe my feelings at the moment, but yeah, I guess.
Really? You're gonna be a fun night for me.
You have a weird idea about fun, Izzy. But
Maybe
to
I
each
do.
his own. But to each their own.
Right.
As you hang up the phone, I'm figuring that by now we've made it back to the hotel, and Jane, you would have heard this exchange.
Who's that?
Old friend. They want help on the case.
They want help.
They want to help.
Are they good?
Better than most I've seen. You might have to try and keep up.
Are they reputable?
So that, yeah, they're good.
They're not reputable. Look, I don't mind. I don't mind bringing in help where it's necessary. I don't think it's necessary yet. Look, just bringing on a lot of outside people, my superiors aren't gonna be down for a lot of shenanigans.
I mean, who's going to tell your superiors? You? Like,
Step out
nobody
of
needs
line.
to know. And they say that whatever it is, it's going to strike tonight. So, I mean, this one night without reporting it to your superiors, and it's all done. You can get yourself a shiny promotion or whatever, and
You know
we're
how
all
many-
happy.
You know how many security cameras exist in this city? A lot.
A bunch.
Yes. Look, just keep them in line.
I make no promises.
And with that statement hanging in the air, I think we're going to take our break. When we come back, we will arrange where everyone is going to go, if where we're meeting up. I will ask real quick, Izzy and Darian, you said, you made the comment of we're going to meet up. Darian, where did you say you were going to meet?
I think I was somewhere close to St. Albans, I think.
Okay. Not
Maybe
St. Evelyn's, but like a,
no,
say, a
no,
diner?
maybe a library, maybe.
All right. Then probably there's a small public library that's not far from St. Evelyn's, probably within a block. They
Yeah.
would have set up those sort of things in that area close to the church. The church was the center of the town. The little library would have been built there. So you said the library. All right.
Yeah. And Tyler, I still got this woman or man with the plan at the beginning at each mystery move. Should I do that now?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that now because that's going to be giving you hold.
Yeah, exactly. And I might need that.
Yeah, and this will reflect as you're heading out of your house, you grabbing your things.
Yes. Whatever they are.
So you'll be rolling sharp there.
I think I am not that bad with it. And I have a 9. So
excellent.
That gives me 1 hold, I think.
Mm-hmm. And
yes.
so you'll be able to be where you need to be, prepared and ready.
Yes.
I do want to just give a reminder before we go on break, just here that we have the use magic move, which you'll see on there. It has there's regular kind of small magic, and then there's big magic. Everybody is capable of doing magic in this game. It's a weird role, but every person has the ability to do it. It's entirely having to do with if it's in your mindset to try that sort of thing or whatever. But each of you are experienced enough with the supernatural that you have some belief that this stuff works. So just to keep in mind as we go forward, if at any time you want to do something from that, you just tell me and we can trigger that move and do magic. All right? So let's take 5 minutes and come back at about 20, 21 after the hour. All right? See y'all shortly. Oh, Alex, I love it. Fantastic. That is absolutely awesome. Oh, wow.
I couldn't think of an appropriate wig from my collection of But 4, but I realized I had a bandana lying around. I was like, oh man, I can't not do this.
I love that jacket. That jacket is awesome. Oh.
The good old
That's-
hand-me-down.
That's sweet. Ooh, I love that lining too.
Yeah, it's nice and soft.
That color's gorgeous. Oh, right.
I like that. I like that color too. That's a great jacket.
I just came back, sat down, and went, "Oh my god, Alex is LARPing again."
All right. So, at the library, I think. Well, let's see. Oh, by the way, if you hear growly noises, that's not my tummy. That's our puppy. So please ignore that. So, I think that probably, considering that Izzy and Jane are really right there already in the neighborhood, the two of you can get to the library first. And coming from your motel, and I guess we're still walking, and it's, just a couple of blocks. It's not a difficult walk. You're going to pass by St. Evelyn's off to the side. You can just kind of see it as you're going by. And you will see that it's now, like 3 in the afternoon. But they're already have their sign out that they will be providing meals tonight. And it's up on their post board that they provide meals every night. St. Evelyn's is known for the work they do for the neighborhood. And even this early, you can see a few folks kind of out front, kind of leaning up against the wall, smoking, or kind of milling around, waiting for the ladies' auxiliary at St. Evelyn's to open the door. But you walk on by and head up to the library there, and it's a small one, but it was built during the 40s. It was in one of the work, or probably late 30s. It was part of the work program during the Depression. So it's a brick building. It's nice looking. And you see some school children playing out front. And as you head in, the smell of books, which is kind of comforting to me. And it's cool outside. It's October. But as you come inside of there, the gas heat, it's a striking, almost like hitting that wall of heat as you come in. The librarian behind the desk looks up and kind of smiles at you, Jane, before looking over at you, Izzy, and kind of blanching just a little bit. But she recovers and she smiles and, can I help you?
We're just here to meet these guys, right?
The smile that definitely doesn't reach the eyes. I think Izzy's just like, we're good, just looking.
Oh, well, if you need anything, please come up and ask. That's what I'm here for.
Thank you, we will.
And as you move back through the stacks, there's little sitting nooks that you can find a quiet place. As Julian and Darian, the two of you arrive. Julian, you've been looking around in this area for the last few days, if not over a week, right?
Yes.
Did the two of you drive? Do you have a car, Julian?
I probably have like a rental car or something.
Darian, do you have a car?
Sure, I have a car. I have a rather old-fashioned car to go with my clothing. So it's not the most modern car. It's probably not even got this automatic steering thing where it's kind of a wheel. You really have to put some muscle in it, but hey, it's very well kept. It might not be the fastest car in the world.
All right. Well, you pull up and there's street parking. So as you pull up and you could see again, St. Evelyn's is just a block away. So the two of you could see St. Evelyn's over there. As you get out and begin heading towards the library, a young girl, girl about 18, comes running towards you, Julian. Julian. And
hello?
if you look on your NPCs and places, you'll see there Shelley Ford. And Julian, you've run across Shelley during your kind of, moving back here and talking to people. Shelley, she doesn't live on the streets, but you know that she uses and she, she hangs out in this area. But as she's coming up to you, where you'd spoken to her maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and she'd given you a story about, some of these girls, some of these girls out here, they just don't know how to take care of themselves. Walk alone, go down an alley. You do shit like that, somebody's going to get you. That's what she told you then. You see her running up to you now, and she looks scared. Julian, you looks over at Darian. Can I talk to you a minute?
Yeah, of course. And he's cool. He was with me. If you don't mind him hearing whatever it is you got.
Well,
we can talk privately, though, if you'd rather.
If he's a friend of yours, I guess it's okay. Look, I know that when you talk to me, I kind of said like that, people cause their own trouble. But, look, my girlfriend, Becca, I think whatever's out here, I think they might have got her.
When did you last see her?
2 nights ago. We had a fight. Becca's straightened herself out. She's got a good job. And, I've been trying. It's just a slip every once in a while. That's all. But she told me that she said she didn't want to be with a junkie. And I try, but I told her to go fuck herself. And she walked off, and I regretted it. I regretted it immediately. And so I went after her, and well, I found her. She was in this bar, and she was talking to another woman. And it pissed me off. I'll admit it. Hell, it was just a fight. You don't just go find somebody like right then. But, when I calmed down, I tried to call her. She didn't answer. And I called her, and I called her. And then I went back by, she hadn't been back to the apartment. All her stuff's, it like she picked up, like everything's still there. There's no way she would have just left all her shit. Something's happened.
Yeah, have somewhere you can hole up for a few days?
Well,
even here? Didn't let you?
Well, I mean, I've got keys to Becca's apartment.
Yeah, just we're gonna get to the bottom of this. I mean, between me and Darian and got some other contacts. I think we'll be able to figure out what's going on, but I don't want anything to happen to you in the meantime.
Well, and
So if you can just like stay with somebody.
well, I mean, I got friends. I mean, I could find somebody.
I mean, safety in numbers. Yeah, I mean, kind of hate to tell you, you can't go out alone, but
She pulls out her phone, and she shows you a picture, and you see Becca. She points her out. She's also on our sheet, and you see that she's talking to this is where apparently Shelley took a picture through the window at that bar. This is the woman she was talking to. I told the cops, and they were like, they didn't care. They said said she probably found somebody else, and that they weren't going to do anything about it. I mean, I told them she'd left her stuff. They were like, you got to wait. We're not going to go looking for her. And
wait, you got keys to her apartment?
well, yeah, she would. I stayed with her most nights.
The one your girlfriend was cheating on you with?
No. Becca's keys. Becca's apartment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I was looking at the wrong picture.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, there's Becca, and then there's the woman she was talking to in the bar. She took a picture of the two of them together.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but we don't have a
Yeah,
picture of
I
the
mean-
girl she was talking to.
Yeah.
And the woman in the bar, that's the picture next to Becca's picture?
No,
I
that's
assume?
Becca. Becca is the person in the picture on our character keeper there.
Yes.
We
And
don't
the other...
have we don't have that up on our character keeper.
Oh, okay.
I was
All right.
conflating Becca and Trisha as I was talking to
Gotcha.
Shelly. Okay, got it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's better than anything. Just don't be on the streets late. I mean, I know, don't let me tell you how to live your life or anything, but I have a feeling something bad's going to happen tonight.
I appreciate you looking into this, and I mean, I know you were all interested in it, and I guess some of the girls that told you about the stone nun.
The what?
She looks around. I thought it was bullshit when I heard it, but this girl, she's fucked up all the time. So, I mean, when I heard it, I was like, it couldn't be real, but she said she felt like somebody was following her. She started running, and she ducked down an alley. She said that at the back of the alley, this nun stepped out. Said her face was like rock, like made out of granite.
Did I look over at Darian like maybe this
Hmm.
rings a bell?
Does it?
Not immediately, but let's see.
I might have to look something up in a book.
Yeah, that might be your best way to get at it.
Yeah. Before you go, young lady, would you terribly mind sending this picture to Julian here of your girlfriend and the other woman? So we might have a picture of that other woman.
No problem. She hands you her phone, Julian. Just just call yourself and send it.
Yeah, and I do so.
Just, with Becca not home, I haven't had a lot of money, so I'm gonna hit it St. Evelyn's, and then I'll find somewhere to hole up tonight with some friends. Give me a call. Give me a call if you find out anything.
Will do.
She heads off. the two of you head inside the library.
Sure.
Izzy,
Well.
as you kind of, the two of you, you and Jane, you've set up where you can kind of get a look as someone comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Like lines of sight.
And my guess is that, Izzy, you're not surprised. You were expecting Darian to come. Coming with, it said that he was coming with somebody who does footwork. But Jane, what do you think when you see Julian coming in the door?
I don't think I actually know like what he looks like.
Don't think that you traced it back from all the emails or anything?
That's true. Yeah, I've definitely looked him up. So like I've got like his driver's license picture, but it's from like 15 years ago or something because he hasn't renewed it ever.
And I had a really bad haircut then.
It's like your very first driver's license from when you were like 18.
All right, perfect. And you've almost certainly gone and checked out some of these stories that have popped up in the tabloids that Julian's written.
Yeah, and I mean enough to know that he is sometimes correct.
All right. So, Izzy, as you see Darian come in, what you do?
Full open arms welcome. Like, hey, Darian, long time no see.
You're muted, Sabine.
So I say, hey, Izzy, I would say what a pleasure meeting you again, but I don't like the circumstances.
Bad.
This is Julian. Julian, this is Izzy.
Julian kind of tips the sunglasses down. He's like, wait, like, Izzy Everett?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did some research.
Ah. Well, I'm sure you've heard nothing but good things then.
Yeah, that's a way to put it. Sure.
Jane, what are you doing as this little reunion
I think
happens?
I'm like looking at Julian with like slightly narrowed eyes, just like trying to place him.
Julian, do you know what Jane looks like, or did you just pick somebody out of special investigations to start sending your many things to?
It's like, yeah, I probably don't have like an employee photo on the website or anything because we're a super secret group.
Yeah, and I don't think I just like walked up to her on investigation one day and was like, give me your email address. So yeah, I don't know what she looks like. I just know that I'm an FBI consultant. So I probably will just like say like, hey, I don't think we've met, but I'm an FBI consultant. Sometimes.
Oh, you with the bureau?
Yeah, I mean,
because like I don't have like a badge or anything.
Oh no, you don't look like an FBI agent right now. Then I do not say that. I was thinking you were in the suit.
Not for this. Not yet.
Okay, in that case, when Darian introduces me to super cool Izzy and whoever the fuck that is, I'm like, oh hi, I'm Julian, journalist. I'm sometimes a consultant with the FBI. None of those things are true.
Julian Walsh.
You've heard of me.
Yes, that's one way of putting it, I suppose. You have my email address. Jane. Hand.
A lot of people go by Jane in my circles.
Smith.
Well, at least it's not Doe. I mean, that stands out a little. Oh, right. That one. Wait,
one.
You know her?
No, I am.
I think it's pointing at Izzy.
Yeah, looking at Izzy and Darian, like, whoa, they've got connections.
This is all unofficial, you understand, on my end.
Yeah, I know the standard deal. I mean, nobody can be seen talking to me in an official capacity.
Right.
Excuse me, I seem to be missing some information. What capacity would that be?
Limited.
I send tips and stuff her way sometimes, and she doesn't always acknowledge them, but yeah, sometimes I can see the results.
So, okay.
And you are?
Darian Young.
And you are?
I am a private consultant for
strange
problems.
They're just coming out of the woodwork, aren't they?
I'm pretty sure I do not live in the woodwork.
I turn to Izzy and raise an eyebrow.
He's like me.
They look reputable. Which is more than I can say about you.
Your standards have fallen. I am so sorry for having done this to you.
Okay, let's get a conference room.
You move back through the shelves and find one of the little kind of private reading nooks. It's small, got like a little case window, and then a couple of desks.
Is there like an event space in the back, like where they help people like do their taxes and things?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take that instead.
Okay, close the door behind you. Do you have your binder with you, Julian? Ryan?
I forgot my name was Julian. Yes, I have it with me.
All right. So you're in this private room together. I don't want to squash any role play, so feel free to role play on this. But do we sort of trade off the bits of information that we've gained here so far?
I want to hear everything they know before I lay out what I know.
All right.
Well, I don't think I will tell her about any kind of black magic that I know, but everything else, okay.
I'm aiming, first of all, to rule out a copycat, 100%, and then we can turn to resurrected demon, whatever. Yeah, so I think I, have them all sit at the table. Tell me what you know.
Julian immediately thunks down this giant binder and starts flipping it open and unveiling the travel-sized corkboard.
While Julian explains this cardboard thing, I will look into one of my books for the stone creature if I can find anything about that.
All right. Why don't so while Julian's kind of going over the various things that he's discovered so far, you can let's see. This could be a good opportunity if you'd like to use one of your hold from your lore library. If you do that, then I could give you an investigative mystery roll, and I'll give you a +1 forward on it for pulling something out of your using that hold from your library. Or you could use that man with a plan, the hold you have there. What are you thinking?
And I was muted. I'm sorry. I was going for the library.
Okay, excellent. So why don't we roll a investigative mystery? You roll that with sharp, and you'll have a +1 forward.
Cool. So I rolled a 6, which is okay because that makes it a 9 with a +1 forward.
All right. As you're leafing through this book, Izzy, are you paying attention to what Julian's going over? Or are you keeping an eye on what Darian's doing? With the idea that maybe if you want, you could do a help out here maybe push that 9 up to a 10 if you're helping out Darian. What you think?
I mean, you know harm, Julian, but I have just bent you, so I might go help out a good doctor friend.
Cool.
All right, so roll a cool check, Alex, as Izzy is kind of, peering over this book, Darian's shoulder at this book.
Go chat up the librarian for tips. I was rolling with what? Sorry? Cool.
Cool.
Oh, that is a 9.
Cool.
All right. You will give a +1, but now this will expose you to some trouble or danger as well. So I'll come to that in a moment. As with your 10, Darian.
Yes.
You get 2 hold to ask questions there.
Oh, questions. I like questions.
What would you like to ask? And are you looking up? I know that you kind of talked about like when Shelley was talking about that granite-faced nun. Is that what you're trying to investigate?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to investigate. And my first question will be, what sort of creature is it?
You're leafing through this book, and you see like an old like wood block print. It's a reproduction in your book, but it shows this nun, the face all granite. Underneath it, you see the name are listed there, the Ultor Sacerdotes.
Oh, wow.
And I'll write that real quick here in our chat.
I know that sacerdotes means priests, actually, but altar?
This would seem to be Hell's torturers, the nuns of pain.
Oh, okay. Lovely.
It's said that those who deserve the greatest of punishments when they get to hell are handed off to the sacerdotes. That they ply their trade on these people until they have suffered all of the pains that they've inflicted in the world 1,000 times over.
Mm.
And as you turn the page, you see 2 more pictures. Apparently, the Ultor are 3 demons. And if you look on our character keeper there in the NPCs, you will see Mother Superior Gullah, Sister Inops, who is our stone-faced nun, and Sister Improbus. And underneath, there's a drawing of a sphere. It's listed a little noting brass and ebony. Said, and underneath it is the name. I'm so sorry. I set that to the side. There we are. Oh crap, that doesn't have it either. Where is it gone? There we are. No, it's still not there. Oh my gracious. I'm so sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Good gravy. There we go. The sanguinobin. And I will also put that into our chat since I cannot say it nearly as well as I can copy it.
Nice.
Yes. And all that's listed underneath it is true love will open the gate to hell.
Great. I will say that in a very ominous voice.
Izzy, as you are looking down at this and Darian says that, it rings something in your head. You kind of think back, Frank, when he was in prison. There's rumors that one of these sick, twisted, groupie types was writing to him. You'd even heard that he managed to convince her to marry him while he was in prison. You can't remember the name exactly, but supposedly the priest that married him, he works over at St. Evelyn's.
Oh, nice.
Julian, you've been laying out this stuff and going over your spiel about it. Jane, you've, probably, it's a lot that Julian has there. So, kind of Darian's voice as he says this may cut through it. But Julian, what were you saying just before Darian spoke?
So you can see the MOs all line up, and it's either Frank or, probably a copycat, but, Darian was suggesting it might be a ghost, which I know sounds crazy, but Darian's got experience in that kind of thing, and if you look at these things, then really, the pattern indicates that the next attack should happen probably tonight, and probably around St. Evelyn's, and I was just talking to these people, and just, blur of words that no one cares about.
Just stone-faced.
Yeah. And there are so many extra bits of paper that I've pulled out and arranged around the table, and I'm pointing to things, and there's highlights, and lots of jabbing gestures.
And that's when Darian makes that statement from the book.
Yes, and when he said true love may open the gates of hell, and then he looks up and says, I don't like that.
Now, you have a couple of more questions.
Yes, I do. I have to look them up. What can I say? Well, I will ask what was it? No, not what was it going to do? I'm being pragmatic. What can hurt it?
There is nothing that can hurt these demons. They can only be sent back to hell. But there is nothing that a mortal could do to these demons.
That's not so good. Okay, so what was it going to do?
The only thing that would bring them out is that someone escaped them.
So I think we can put the theory about the copycat on the back burner. If these nuns of Sisters of Pain are running around here, they are looking for someone who escaped from hell. And I don't think it's a coincidence.
And when Darian starts saying that, Jillian just stops mid-sentence and looks over at him because the expert is talking now.
Have you told me, us rather, yet about the conversation you had with the girl out front? Like she did actually see, or said she saw a nun.
Oh,
Julie?
yeah, I definitely relayed the entire conversation
Okay.
as best I could. I mean, in my really rapid, incoherent style.
Well, we've seen similar things before. It's just at this church here?
I gesture again to my map with pins in it and stuff, except it's not really pins, it's like sticky dots or something, because it has to travel. But yeah, they're all like clustered right around St. Evelyn, all the last sightings.
Back home, you've got the one with the pins in it, right?
Yeah, I had to make a travel size version.
Okay.
And one more thing. The priest there. You guys remember Darian? Well, at least there was a marriage between Frank and some other person. I'm not sure. While he was on death row, and it was the priest at that church that did it.
Why would anyone want to marry this monster?
People are sick. You don't know that yet?
I do know that.
Maybe the priest will know why. We can go pay him a visit. And I think he'll gently take the book from Darian's hands with the back to the library and tear out the relevant pages.
Well, this is Julian's book. I mean, it's Darian's book.
Please don't rip out any pages from my book, Izzy.
Sorry, didn't think it was ours.
It is mine.
No, what's a little destruction of property?
This is not property, this is a book.
In any case, I don't think all four of us need to go.
No.
Any volunteers?
I'm not missing this one out.
Okay.
You're me, newbie?
Two is good enough. One of you can come with me. And I start gathering up my things to go right now.
Darian, it looked like the other two were wanting to speak to the priest. Do you want to go with Jane?
Sure. Where are we going?
To speak to the priest.
I thought we should. I think I passed by the priest. I think that's more up Julian's.
Okay, so you're going to talk to the priest, Jane, and I saw for certain that
one of the others is coming with me.
Julian automatically volunteered, and I kind of figured that Jane would pass him over, but the hand is in the air.
Up to you. Whoever gets out the door first.
Is you going?
I think it's just this tense moment between Izzy and Julian. It's like, are you gonna go, or?
Yeah, and Julian's just there, like, wait, Izzy's scary, and hand kind of goes back down.
Because he lowers the rest of the hand, gives it a pat, and walks out the door.
All right, so the two of you are heading back over to St. Evelyn's. What are you, Darian and Julian gonna do?
Well, go ahead with the ladies, or with Izzy and Jane, and I think we'll figure out what we're doing in the meantime.
Wait,
okay. I think you'd say it to me. No, I'm saying to me. Go ahead and.
Right. Okay, I got it now.
Okay. So, then y'all make your way back over, to St. Evelyn's. By now, you've spent a little time, looking through these books, and so it's October up in Chicago. So by 5 o'clock, the sun has kind of dipped to where the shadows are long. It's kind of an orange glow as the sun is sinking, and you reach St. Evelyn's, where there's a good many folks going in and out of the fellowship hall.
What day of the week is it?
It's a Wednesday.
Okay, Catholic church?
Catholic Church.
Okay, so there'd be like Vespers or something.
There, you can hear there is a bit of music going on in the church proper, and then they have where they're feeding the homeless in the fellowship hall. So you could choose to go to either or.
Okay, well, we're not interrupting like the actual service, so let's do the homeless soup kitchen thing first, and then we can maybe catch the priest afterward.
All right.
Gotcha. Are we going good cop, bad cop, or bad cop, worst cop?
Do we need a bad cop? I'm the only cop here.
Worst cop it is.
You stride up the walkway.
And I just like put my arm out like to stop you, because no. Until they give us a reason to think otherwise, we're both good cops. Acceptable?
Yeah. Izzy, do you nod to that, or what do you
I'm gonna wait to hear you say something.
I'll say I make no promises and push past.
You never do.
You head up.
Deep breath.
And entering into this this fellowship hall, there's probably a couple of dozen people already here, sitting at tables eating. The majority of them are fairly young. A lot of these are street kids. That late teenager, early 20s, and they have that look of a runaway to them. And then there's some older people who especially like Izzy, you've known folks who've lived on the street for a while. You know that kind of furtive glance. You know the way they're eating as quickly as possible. Like it could disappear any moment. Up towards the front of the hall, you see there's a little kitchen, and there's a table laid out, and there's some people in line. And you see there's the assortment of 5 middle-aged housefrau types who are dishing out the food. And sitting at the end of the table, you see a woman who is, older, probably, she's got to be pushing 90. If you look at our picture, you'll see Eunice Baptiste. And she's sitting at the end of the line, so that as everyone gets through it, they have to go by her. And as they do, she'll reach out and she'll pat their hand and, well, the Lord bless you. The Lord bless you. Lord bless you. You know the Lord takes care of even the most lowly. But as you see this crowd in there, what do, Jane? Who do you go up to speak with?
Eunice is clearly the person in charge here.
She certainly she's got the look of somebody who certainly thinks she is.
Okay. Is there anyone else, like, I don't know, overseeing? Well, okay.
Yeah, she looks like she's probably the queen bee of these ladies, this ladies auxiliary.
Okay. Yeah, so go up to her. Excuse me, ma'am.
She looks up. Hello there. You don't look like one of our poor unfortunates. Eunice Baptiste. She'll lift her hand up to you.
I don't know if this is right. Special Agent Jane Smith.
Oh.
FBI.
Oh, the FBI. Oh, well,
do you mind if we,
how can I help?
Do you mind if we,
Oh, of course not. And she pulls herself up out of her chair and she looks over at the other ladies. You'll have to get along without me for a few minutes, girls. The special agent needs to speak with me. and she'll follow you over to a. She'll actually kind of lead you off back to where the kitchen is, so you can have some privacy.
Okay. So
The
yeah,
jabbed elbow of like, what happened to like keeping it low down?
some people respond better to the badge.
As you get back there, she kind of conspiratorially leans over. I'm guessing this is about the missing girls.
Oh, what do you know about that?
Oh my goodness. Oh, it just makes my heart flutter. You know, I was here all those years ago when Frank did this thing. Frank Tillerson. I knew him. I knew from the very beginning he was the wrong sort. Just a terrible man. You could see it in his eyes. I knew it. Nobody listened to Eunice.
I'm sure. And you said there's something more recent?
Yes. You know, there are terrible people in this world. Druggies and the prostitutes. Oh, selling themselves. It attracts these sorts of people. Men who want to prey on them. And someone's wanting to be like Frank. I know it. I know it.
And this missing girl?
Well, I hear, you know, I take care of these like they were my own little ones out there. Lost lambs they are. Lost lambs. And I hear things they say when they're talking. Oh, terrible things sometimes. The drugs. Oh, but they've been saying that they think they say that someone's hunting them down. And now these girls gone missing. And they found that body. They found that body in the dumpster not 2 blocks away. And they found that other one, well, just laying in a lot. And there's more girls missing. More.
Anyone that you've encountered personally?
Oh, a few. A few. They make their way through here. There was a really very sweet girl. What was her name? Sally. She was one of the lesbians. And, that's the one they found in the dumpster. And since then, there must have been, and she starts naming off, 4 or 5 more girls' names.
Okay, just like noting all of these.
They haven't seen them, and they keep up with each other. They're like rats. They'll just nest up together. I mean, not like rats. That's not what I mean. But they do. They huddle together, I guess, for warmth.
You do know it's centered around here, right? These horrible people, but you're talking about horrible.
I'm gonna just like shoot Izzy a look.
Izzy is shooting a look right back.
I'm of course not saying that anything these poor girls have done out there makes it right for someone to come and do these terrible things. And why would anyone want to imitate that awful man? Thank goodness he's dead.
When was the most recent disappearance?
Well,
that you're aware of?
Why don't we have you do a manipulate? She's going to say, well, I have heard that one of them went missing just a couple of days ago. But you could tell, I mean, you've got a practiced eye. She's hiding something.
Okay, so I'm just rolling.
You'll be rolling charm.
Oh dear. That is a 7. Just a 7.
All right.
I think I just kind of wait for her to keep talking.
And you see she sort of downcasts her eyes and says, well, Agent, and she looks over at Izzy, and Izzy's an intimidating person. And she kind of cuts her eyes back and forth. She says, well, this is off the record, right?
Of course. I'm not a journalist.
Well, one second. There we go. Trisha Black Shadow is what she called herself. But it was Murray. I know. I knew her grandmother. Nice folks, the Murrays, but oh, little Trisha. She had gotten herself mixed up in some terrible things. Black nail polish. Like, oh my goodness, who would wear such things? She came to me, though, and I was trying to help her. I told her that she shouldn't be out on the streets like this, that she should go home to her granny. That a girl that parades around in the streets could sometimes get herself in trouble, that maybe a girl like that gets what she deserves. I'm just trying to scare her for her own good. Well, she ran out and she hasn't been back. None of the other girls have seen her. And I called Myrtle Murray, and she never went back to her house either. I tried to warn her. Izzy, what are you thinking as she says this?
Oh. I mean, I just really, really, really want to hit her right now. But I mean, I probably shouldn't. I think we just get this image of Izzy, the hands behind her back. It's furiously clenching the fists.
Yeah, and I think what I thank her very politely, and I want to say something really cutting, underhanded. Just thank you for doing your part.
I try my best.
You should come back to your flock out there, or else, who knows? You might get what's coming to you.
She kind of looks at you, and that sort of superior look. It kind of breaks with a little bit of fear, looking at Izzy. And yes, of course. Poor little lambs. And she kind of starts moving off. One other thing, Agent
Smith.
I have seen a man sort of hanging out back. She points to the back door of the kitchen. He doesn't come in. He looks like one of the homeless. He's got one of those hoodies, I think they call them, overcoat.
Recently?
But
recently?
Well, yes, he started hanging out in the last couple of weeks. I only mention it because, well, I was at the back door, and I said, you can come in if you're hungry. And he said the most rude thing. He said, he called me an old B word and said that I didn't want him to eat what he wanted to have a taste of. And she will shuffle on back out front. I'm going to slide over and find out what Julian and Darian have been doing.
Well, Darian has explained to Julian that this is the perfect moment where they should hit the books and find out if somebody escapes from hell, what should be done with them, how we would get him back to hell, because that's where he belongs. And once he's in hell, he's not our problem anymore. So I will start investigating my books and tell Julian that that is a good idea. And while I am in my books and muttering about destruction of property, I don't know what Julian is doing. Probably doing what I advised him to do.
Yes, I definitely do exactly as I'm told, and don't do the exact opposite because I'm contrary. I pull out like a laptop or something. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll check the internet, and I'm instead looking for either Frank's spouse or next of kin or anybody alive with a tie to Frank, because I mean, we don't have any headway on demons. We know that you can't kill them. You can generally kill people.
All right. So you are doing your contrary move?
Yes, I'm being very contrary.
You would mark experience, probably not going to be such an issue today, but it also gives you a +1 on your action going forward. So why don't we have you make an investigate a mystery? See if you could find out a little more about Frank.
Woo. And I can't find roll for your party even though it's open right in front of me with my dice right there. So that's only a 6, but investigate a mystery is sharp, right?
That's correct.
And then I have an extra +1, so that's a 9.
Very good. I don't know. Darian, do you think you can do anything that would help in this?
I don't even know what he's doing. That's exactly, he's doing exactly the opposite of what I told him to, so I guess not. No.
Okay.
Not really.
So with 9, you have 1 hole there for this investigative mystery. What question would you like to ask, Julian?
Most of the questions aren't terribly applicable, so where did it go?
All right. As you're looking through it, you've gone over so much stuff about Frank in the past that it's almost like there's surely not going to be anything you've missed. But maybe it's because of what you've heard here. That there's a photo you've seen several times of Frank. It's supposed to be the last one of him taken while he was alive. It shows him in his prison outfit. It's an old Polaroid, but somebody has, had gotten a hold of it, probably when he, some guard probably sold it on the black market for memorabilia. And it's worked its way through various owners of kind of nefarious sort. But it shows him, and he's holding a Bible, and he's got one of these really ostentatiously large wooden crosses around his neck. And he's holding that Bible. He's got this kind of smile that, just like he's like the most innocent of people alive. Just, but something strikes you in the background. You'd always just sort of overlooked it before. There's a woman standing there. She's wearing she's got a sweater on. She's older than Frank. Probably in her early 40s. Frank was, early 30s. But you know, you kind of enlarge the picture, and while it's a little blurry, you see she's pregnant. And it's the first time you've really noticed the wedding ring that Frank has on his finger. Now, they would have confiscated that from him when he went to his cell. They wouldn't let him keep that. So it must have been something significant that he would have it on for this picture. And that woman is kind of smiling. And as you get it as close as you can, you see that she's also holding a Bible. And it has one of those ribbon bookmarks on it. And you could see that, you know, where it has the, you know, kind of the symbol of the bishopric of Chicago, you could see that written across it is St. Evelyn's.
Cry out, aha, and spin my monitor around and point at it as if the point itself explains everything I want to explain to Darian. And say, look, there's a picture of a spouse, which I've seen before, but I never paid much attention to it because it was the last surviving picture of Frank. But you can see here that he's wearing a wedding ring, which implies that she is probably whoever he married. And also you'll note that this indicates that he might have surviving children.
Yes, I realize that. Okay, so you weren't looking for a way to send the demon back. You were looking for a way to find the demon, which is also fine, and I commend your initiative.
Divide and conquer?
That's not what that means. But nonetheless, it is a good find. And now, can you use the internet to find out who she is and what her name is and where she is staying and where the child is staying?
Spin the monitor back around and start furiously typing. I'm on it.
Because I am a bit fearful for that child. It's not easy to get people out of hell, even if you love them.
And you, as this information, our camera sort of zooms in to where your finger is on a passage in one of your books.
Cool.
Talking about that sphere.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where it speaks of true love can open the gate, but it needs the blood of the one, the blood of the kin of the one you wish to bring out.
As if, yes, that kind of fits it. Oh, well, I think they might have killed the kid, or she might have killed the...
Had like human sacrifice or something? Yeah. Well.
Yes. Yeah, that's usually stronger if you sacrifice your living kin, or anybody of your kin. It gets stronger. The stronger, well, if a woman sacrificing her child is very strong, the only thing that would be stronger would be a child sacrificing its parent. Which, and I'm babbling. I'm sorry.
I hate everything about that sentence, but you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
And it is worth noting, just because you think of this, Julian, looking at when this picture was taken, that woman was pregnant 36 years ago.
Yeah, so it's not a child anymore. Of course, it's a grown person, but, well.
Yeah, blood's the same. Older, but...
Older.
But ew.
Ew.
As this revelation hits the two of you, do you spring into action? I believe you were still wanting to look up something more there, weren't you, Julian?
I was trying to find, like, address, location, phone number, email address.
You look and there is nothing. In fact, you know, and all you've done research. Yes, Jane.
Just if anyone could find this, it would be the central government.
That's very true.
I mean, that's what they want you to think. But clearly these people are good, because they haven't left a trace. And I mean, even I still have records at the DMV, so...
But yes, Julian, I mean, this was information, as much as you studied about Frank, this was information that you had never heard before. So even the deepest of the conspiracy webs had never talked that he had been married, much less had a kid. That had been...
I'm immediately going to post this onto one of the forums. I mean, like, in case I disappear, I want you all to know that I found this thing. They might be coming for me now.
So again, the main hint you see is that ribbon from the Bible of St. Evelyn's. And I'm going to kind of cut off of y'all. You're taking a bit of time to do this because I'm going to try and keep our timeline a little parallel. And your research taking a little bit longer than it took for them to walk there and get the fellowship and speak with old Eunice. She's long-winded, but it isn't as long as studying books and going through the internet. Because Jane, you see as Evelyn or as Eunice is walking out, you see this old man, a priest, has come into the fellowship hall. He's probably 70. You'll see him. Father Leahy is his name in our character keeper. You don't know his name at the moment, but he's come walking in.
Okay, he's like wearing the collar, whatever.
Yeah, he's got the full cassock.
And the sounds from the church have stopped?
Yes. And you see the ladies there, the housefraus have all, they've sort of perked up since the fathers come in and they're working a bit harder. And you can also see that the people there that are eating have that sort of, because he's probably coming to preach.
Okay, I kind of want to hear him preach, see what he says, but also like talk to some of the people who are sitting here and like would actually know the people who disappeared. But Izzy, if you've got anything else.
I mean, it's happening tonight. We don't really have the time to listen to sermons here. So are we... Can I take the lead? Can I take the lead on this one? Thank you.
So, Izzy, you're going to walk over towards the priest?
I am. Very brazenly.
Jane, are you're letting her take the lead? Does that mean you're holding back a minute?
Yeah. Like, people who saw us come in together know that we came in together, but he does not.
Izzy, you head over to the father, and he looks in your direction, and his eyes widen slightly, but he's seen a lot of rough-looking figures here in Chicago over his many years. And oh, my child. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'm Special Agent Smith. I've got some questions for you.
Special Agent? Oh, my goodness. And he'll sort of, back away from the table and kind of off to the corner of it. It's away from the kitchen and the table and away from as many people speaking. How can I help you? I, of course, am more than happy to help any officials of the law.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm here about the disappearances that are going on recently.
Oh, well, I'm sure that in your position, these sorts of things become way overblown. It is a sad state, but true, that so many of these children go missing. They find someone and they leave town. Now, the two that were found killed, that's so sad. But to equate it to those awful events so long ago, it only hurts this community. It's the sort of thing that shouldn't be allowed to be done. Spreading lies and rumors.
Lies? People are still disappearing.
I've seen many of these children who will disappear for a few days. They'll come back. And if this sort of thing gets around, just think of the fear that'll go through this neighborhood, this congregation.
There are people that aren't coming back. Maybe they should be afraid.
Well, Special Agent, I depend upon, well, people like you to keep us safe. Rumors don't keep anyone safe.
Maybe if everyone fucking leaves this cursed place, they will.
Cursed place, Agent. You said Agent Smith?
Yes, Smith.
Well, I would never tell you how to do your business, but I wouldn't chase bugaboos. I think what's needed more here is, well, more charity so these poor children don't need to be on the streets, and better policing so these drug dealers and whoremongers aren't plying their trade. That's what will stop this sort of thing, Agent Smith.
Glad to hear it.
Do you want to try and, is there something you like to try and get out of him? Some piece of information in particular? Or, okay.
Well, the whole like, oh, one more thing before I go.
Oh, a Columbo move. I love it.
We're investigating the possibility that this is a copycat. And we figured it would be best to learn as much about Frank as possible. We heard that he got married here.
You see the blood just sort of drain from his face. Married here? No. When he was arrested, he'd never been married.
Oh, then maybe it was just a priest from here, but a priest from St. Evelyn's Church married him and someone else.
Roll me a manipulate someone as you're trying to get him to break.
I'm good at breaking things. I tell if I just got the exact same roll as last time, but I'll roll them again.
Yeah, it'll do that. It'll hang up every once in a while. And that's with your charm.
I tried a different browser. It is not updating for me.
And you get a +1 on that roll as well, because you're investigating and pursuing your monster, which is Frank.
Oh, nice. That is +1 is a total of 6.
Oh. He looks at you, and you see his eyes kind of narrow. Special Agent, I can only imagine that you have records from the prison. It is my duty to join those in holy matrimony. Frank had repented his sins. And, well, no child should be born a bastard. Now, if you will excuse me. And he turns to move away. I'll let you do an act under pressure if you're willing to make a scene here and, like, physically intimidate this man to get some information out of him.
I am all down to physically intimidate a priest.
So what does that look like? What do you do?
Oh. Oh man. I think we do the whole like as he's about to go, like grab him by the shoulder, and like an arm under the chin, push him up against the wall. So
I'm gonna
his feet are,
like come up behind you at this point.
Hold one
from
moment.
across the room.
Hold one moment on that, Jane, because I might have something that's
It'll
happening
take
to
me a
you.
couple seconds to get there.
Yeah. So roll act under pressure. That's a cool roll, but you're still getting that +1 for your pursuit of your prey.
Oh, nice. It is a 9.
What is the one piece of information you want out of him?
I want to know who Frank married.
He goes, her name is Rona Pierce. And you should leave her alone, Special Agent. She suffered enough.
We'll see about that.
As Jane, you're kind of starting to head over there. From that back door, you hear a sound. You sort of turn your head, and there's a man silhouetted. You can't, in the doorway. Just back where the alley light is sort of behind him. And he's got this hoodie on. He goes, you hear him, he speaks. He goes, "Oh, you are a pretty one, aren't you?"
To me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go up to him. Just let's sharp right turn.
You turn and head back towards the door towards him. This is back to the alley. And as you come up, getting up close to him, get about 4 feet from him. And, now with this perspective, you see his face fully. There's no skin on his face at all. It's simply muscle and veins and slimed with blood. And his eyes are staring out at you. He says, "You, I bet you'd scream."
I want to undo the snap over my gun under my jacket and back him out into the alleyway and order him hands up against the wall.
You come, and he does back out as you're coming forward. And as you pass through the door, he's going to move forward quickly. Like he's fixing to try and grab you.
Okay.
If you wish to try and draw, that would be an act under pressure. If you just want to try and clobber him, that would be a kick some ass.
Which am I better at?
Cool is act under pressure. Tough is kick some ass.
I am equally good at both of those things. Okay, so kick some ass. I just want to throw a hand out and try to just grab him by the jacket and slam him down on the ground. Just kick his legs out from under him.
All right, roll with tough.
That is a 4 plus 2 is 6.
More
on edge than I thought.
And I suppose I should have pointed out you have that bottle it up move for acting under pressure.
Can I do that retroactively?
Yes, yeah, because it's the same roll. You're rolling with the same thing. So instead, you're going to go for your gun. If you want, you could take up to +3 bonus when you act under pressure. For each +1 you use, though, I get a hold.
Okay,
and I can spend it later for -1s on something you roll.
Okay, so acting under pressure would be shooting him. I don't think I want to do that.
Well, it'd be getting okay. It'd be getting that gun out, and as he's coming forward, having it brandished, and you could shoot him if you wanted to. What you think?
Yeah, it feels like overreacting to me in this situation now. So,
All right. So as you try and grab hold of his jacket, he just keeps moving into you, so that as you're trying to moving forward, he's getting right up there till that face is right in front of you, and you can smell the blood and the rot, and he's staring you in the eyes just directly. And he's going to attempt to bite you on the face as he comes in. And you feel those teeth catch you right there. You're going to take 2 points of damage.
okay. Now, gun. This is good
Now,
time.
gun. And you have, if you have armor, this would take it. You could take that off.
I do, but it's not on my face.
Gotcha. All right. And so this bite, so you're, and you pull back, and I mean, it hurts, and you can feel the blood, and his tongue licks around his lips as he's licking off this blood from you. Oh, you are tasty. Out comes the gun. You gonna shoot him?
I don't want to kill him. I mean, in the shoulder, can I aim for non-lethal damage?
You certainly can. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it depends on how well you roll if you manage to do that, but sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So rolling tough.
That is a 4 + 2 is 6.
Oh, that's wonderful. So as you pulled the gun up to shoot him, I mean, quicker than you thought was imaginable, he smacks you on the arm, and your gun goes flying off to the side. And he's moved in, and he looks like he's about to just like bite right into where your eye is. I mean, he's fixing to bite out your eye. But as he's biting, this alley, something changes. You can feel it. There's a red light, the bricks on either side of the alley, a red light where the masonry is. It seems to flash up and down it. You hear this sound. Frank, or the man, looks up. Shit! And he pulls back and just runs out the back of this alley as this mist sort of slides across the bottom of the alley, and this light behind you. And you're still kind of, he pushed you back. You kind of stumbled against the wall as you look at the door going back into the kitchen. It's not that kitchen anymore. It's this black room. You see these chains hanging down with hooks, and they're swinging in this breeze. Clink, 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 clink. You look, and from the end of the alley, and outside of the alley, I mean, you don't see the street. It's just this white and red mist. And you see a figure with horns walking down. It is Sister Improbus. She has this curved blade, which she's running down the side of the alley.
Gun, freeze.
As you point the gun at her, she smiles, but she stops. You think, she stopped because of the gun. When right behind you, a voice right at your ear goes, "You're not Frank." As you turn, you see Mother Superior Gullah right there at your shoulder. "Where is Frank?"
This is probably a really terrible idea, but I turn back toward the room and fire.
Turning back at her?
Yeah,
Bam! You fire. It strikes right into her chest, and it seems to affect her not at all. Sorry, that was the dog. She says, pitiful girl, you cannot hurt me, but I have such pleasures I can show you. She begins reaching towards you. What do you say?
I don't say anything. I like bring one arm around to like knock her hand free, and then I want to try to basically the same move I tried to pull on the skinless man, just to get her on the ground.
As you grab hold of her.
But this is all just like instinct at this point.
So I think act under pressure for this. And this, again, you can spend hold to give me some hold if you want.
And I was reading my moves. I have something called Battlefield Awareness.
Uh-huh.
It says I have an additional armor. So I will consider that in future.
If you want, you could take one of that damage off from where he bit you, because I think that would be reflected in you having kind of dodged away from him a bit.
Okay. Sounds good. And I will roll here. 9 + 2.
All right. So an 11. So you grab hold of her, but she is, it's like grabbing a rock or a pillar. But you don't move her, but you're more than capable of moving yourself out of her way, getting away from her. But she is just so strong. But I will let you, because you've got a success here, you can dictate kind of where you end up in relation to her. Like, do you get by her? Do you...
Yeah, can I get back into the room and like shut her out?
You can, yeah. So you move in, you slam the door. These chains are clinking.
Oh, oops.
And as you come in, you slam the door, you lean back up against it. Peering across this room, the light just on the face is that granite-faced nun. We want Frank. Give us Frank. And you don't have to suffer for long.
What are you?
Gun. We are the jailers of hell and all of its magnificent pain.
I think... Oh no, this is funny. I don't know that I would carry like salt or anything on me yet. I know I will do.
Yet.
But yeah, I try shooting her a couple times. It's probably not going to work, but I don't know what else to do.
You fire away at her, and you hear this gravelly sort of laugh. You're certain you hit her. And she starts to fade back. Bring us Frank. Bring us Frank. And as she slides back into the darkness, the chains seem to reach out towards you. And as you kind of pull back, Izzy, you walk into the kitchen and you see huddled back up against the door of the kitchen is Jane. She's got her gun out and she's just like this. I mean, you could see she's sweating. There's blood coming down off of her cheek. What do you do?
Help me.
What the fuck happened? Was this Eunice?
So like I look up and see that all of this is gone and that it's just the kitchen again.
What do you say to Izzy?
Like visibly shaken. I take a few breaths, open the door, like just a little bit.
The alley looks normal.
I put my gun away, close the door, turn to you, and like start walking and just grab you and say, I need to get out of here.
And I think we're going to take a break there. Let's do about 4 minutes. We have one more hour. We'll have an hour and 5 minutes. I'm going to kind of start moving us towards where I'm hard framing a little more. So that we can kind of get to a point of conclusion. We've discovered a lot of the prelim-y stuff of this. We've got a pretty good clue of a lot of the things here. So when we come back in, we'll find out. We'll come back to Darian and Julian with the information you have, what you're doing, and we'll start hard framing out our plans for what we're doing going forward. All right. So let's come back at about let's do about 3 till. Okay. Whew. Oh. Well, I'm realizing I'm going to have to speed us up a bit. With an hour left, I'm going to try and I want us to hit a nice, satisfying conclusion. So we'll try and push a little harder. I apologize. I feel like that I'm a little dull-witted, and I've not been doing so well to keep the things flowing. Oh. All right. Well, Sarah should be back in a moment, but let's go ahead and hop into Julian and let's see. Sorry, Darian. As you two have found out this information, and I think that while you were studying your book, Darian, you had seen and learned a bit about that orb.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That it is some sort of like a puzzle.
Okay.
That it can be
that sanguine thing.
Yes.
Okay.
That it can be turned and twisted. And you feel like that if you could get a hold of it, that maybe you could use it.
To send Frank back.
To send Frank back.
Cool. Okay, so we should either find this thing here, or maybe we should kind of try to get Frank into the vicinity of, well, I guess these gatekeepers of hell. Well, that's dangerous. That's dangerous either way.
Julian, you hear Darian saying that. What do you say?
Well, and I've also got the group chat from Izzy saying the name Rhonda Pierce. Because in the chat, Izzy was saying that Izzy's passing that name along. I'm like, so we've got a name in. Wait, what? We need to summon the Keepers of Hell?
I don't know. I hope we can just... We need to find this Sanguineum. What was the name? I'll look it up in the chat. We were talking a lot.
Sanguinivim.
Sanguinivim. Okay, this one. The orb. Anyway, I can use that maybe to send Frank back to hell, and then hopefully this all will be finished.
Find a Sanguiniviv, that thing?
I have. Do I have an idea, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or well,
I mean, I think Rhonda will have it if she used it to summon Frank, right?
Whoever brought Frank out would have it.
Okay, so working hypothesis is that we think that maybe his wife sacrificed their child to summon Frank back from hell with this orb, and we need to find the orb to send Frank back to hell.
So we find her, then we find the orb, then we find Frank and the demon nuns, preferably at the same time.
I think
everything's awesome.
If we use the orb the right way, we don't really need to find them.
I mean, the granite creepy whatever. Okay, yes. So the orb sends Frank back, and then everything's awesome. And as I'm talking, I'm like typing up Spokio or something, seeing if I can find an address now that I have a name.
All of that depends on you, my dear Julian, finding out where what was her last name?
Rhonda Pierce.
Where Rhonda Pierce lives.
All right.
I have utmost confidence in you. Sounds more ominous than Darian actually meant
it. You have, by the way, still got some connect the dots, don't you?
I do have some connect the dots. I keep forgetting about that.
And I have still one hold from the be in the right place at the right time.
That is correct too.
Cool.
So, Julian, is there a question maybe that?
I'm looking at the questions and trying to figure out which ones I can spin to give the answers that are relevant to our current mystery. because, like, how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture? Seems a little iffy, but
Maybe critical event?
sure. Let's just keep asking. When and where will the next critical event occur? Tell me, oh paranoia notes, where the plot is going.
As you're typing in, you know, you're looking for Rona Pierce. Rona Pierce. You eventually find a Rhonda Pierce who lives only about 4 or 5 miles away. As you look up, age is roughly about what you would expect. She's in mid-70s. And turns out that she receives Meals on Wheels from St. Evelyn's.
Mm-hmm. For how many people?
Just for one.
Okay.
Sounds like this is Our Lady.
Okay,
Not
so
far from
let's
here either.
get the other two and see if we can
Group chat
find
back that we have an address.
All right. So, and again, I'm gonna push a touch here. So, as you two stalk out of the library, Jane, you know, you're still bleeding, and you and Izzy are heading out. As Izzy, you've gotten this message, you know, back. Think we found Rona. Do you convey that over to Jane?
Yeah. Got a next stop if you're feeling up to it.
Jane says, "Give me a fucking towel."
I'm sure it's like a half oily one somewhere in the van.
I look at it and like, ugh, this is the best you can do, and then I just like wipe my face with it. I do actually have a move for this.
Okay.
Medic. I have a full first aid kit and the training to heal people when I do first aid roll plus cool.
All right, and honestly, I bet you, I'm just guessing here, but Izzy, I bet you have a first aid kit in your van, don't you?
Oh, of course.
So, using that first aid kit, you could certainly roll your medic roll.
Okay.
So let's have you roll that as the van peels out and heads to the library, and the two of you, it pulls up in front of you.
That is a 10 plus something. So 10 plus. And well, on a 10 plus, this patient is stabilized and healed of 2 harm. So I
Excellent.
have 0 harm now?
That's correct.
Okay.
As you've kind of done those bandages up and stopped the bleeding, but you know it probably still hurts.
Yeah, but it's like there's like no blood. Looks very clean. Could be done like in a hospital.
As the van pulls up to you two, everybody pile in.
Yeah, okay. My car isn't the fastest.
And Izzy, you and head towards this address. You pull out of the kind of St. Evelyn's neighborhood and heading off where this address leads you, and it's into a more rundown part of the neighborhood, more rundown part of Chicago Heights. The houses here are, a lot of for sale signs. And as you come up to the address, it's a small, what they call a Mill Hill house down here, down south. But it's, just that set up 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, a living room, and a shotgun hallway down the middle. But you can see there's a light on. You also see that in the front yard and on the porch, there are plastic saints and weeping Marys. There is one of the full crucifixes up above the door as you pull up to this house. Who hops out first and heads to the door?
Dibs.
I mean, I try, but I don't think that I actually make it there first.
I think I will. I think I'm pretty quick to get there too.
All right, so we've got everybody moving up quickly. I'm guessing, Izzy, you got a little bit of step up, then probably Jane right behind you. Then we got
Darian.
Darian. I keep wanting to say Damien. Something put that in my head. And then kind of bringing up the rear, we have Julian as we get to the door. And Izzy, as you get to the door, you're knocking. What are you doing?
Kick it in.
You're yelling, "Hey, FBI, open up!"
God.
Kicking in the door. Wow. As the door slams open, you can smell that kind of sweet smell of candles. It's hot in this house. And from over in the living room, which you could look over there, you see the TV. And on the TV, you see one of these televangelists, and he's weeping and doing the whole prayer thing. The sound's down though. There's music playing instead, and it's a hymn. Probably something near my God to thee, something along those lines. And you see, sitting on the couch, but now kind of looking up at you is Rona Pierce, who we have a picture of. And she goes, "Oh, what do you want? What is it?"
I want to move in front of Izzy to give this some sense of legitimacy.
What have I done? What's wrong?
Give us the sanguinavum. No.
Jesus Christ.
You see her eyes widen. Oh no. This is about Maria, isn't it?
Yes.
About who? Jillian says from the back. Because he's not helpful.
She begins to cry. Oh, I wish she'd never found that box. I wish I'd have just burned it. And she's just collapsed weeping.
And I
We don't have time for this.
Yeah,
I step up to her. I'm sorry, Jane, but no. Listen, lady. Your husband killed my mother. Now tell me what is going on here and give us the sanguinavum, and we will leave you, and you can cry to Jesus all you want because it won't help a bit.
All right. I think I'm going to have you roll a manipulate, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a +1 circumstantial for how you've come in here with that.
The federal government does not endorse this approach.
The federal government can go, and I've got a 10.
Oh, fantastic! All right, so she does anything you ask within reason. She says, I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. Maria took it.
Where is she?
She reaches down to her coffee table and opens up her drawer. And inside of it, you see she has a Bible, which she pulls out. And as she opens it, there are pictures and a postcard or two. She says, when she found the box Frank sent me, she took it. She ran off. She sent me these. And she hands you these postcards. She said,
I give them to Julian.
Passes them back to you. As you're kind of looking through them, they're very generic postcards on the front, but on the back, you see written there, I forgive you for never telling me, Mom. I'm going to make this right. But you can kind of see where the dates are, and she's moved around. You see that she moved to New York at one point, at which time she says, I found what Daddy was wanting. I've taken it. He's coming home soon. And you see another postcard. I'm learning the secrets, Mommy. Daddy will be home very soon.
And I'm just reading these, and my face is getting more and more. Oh no! I'm like, yeah, Darian, the daughter's not dead. She did the thing.
As you
we need to
pull
find
up
her.
the last postcard, and you see it's from an address near St. Evelyn's, and it only says, "Daddy's home."
I'm just gonna pass the whole stack to Izzy.
This woman is crying, and she's like, I thought he had changed. He told me he didn't do these horrible murders. I believed him until before the execution. He wrote me a letter. He told me he did all of it. He told me he killed all of those poor girls. All of them.
Deal with this. I'm leaving.
You turn on your heel and start stalking out.
Yeah. No, I can't deal with this.
She looks up because you said, killed your mother. I'm so sorry. I should have burned the box. I should have burned the box. Jane, is there anything you're doing?
I mean, I feel like the situation is kind of out of my hands at this point. I'm just going to nod. Thank you for your time.
Izzy, this woman, she looks pitiful, but you know that she believed him. What do you do?
Oh man. I think Izzy here's the address off of the last postcard, crumples it up in her hands, like tosses it on the floor. Says, "Guess we both fucked up, huh?" And walks off.
I would like to pick that up.
Now you kept the address, right, Izzy? Is that what you took off of it?
Yeah, took off the address.
And gave her back, just threw her postcards back down to her. And she just collapses there crying. And you begin hearing her as she reaches down. You can hear the clack of the rosaries as she's moving them and praying as you leave. Julian, do you say anything or do you follow out?
I think on the way out, he's just like, "Whoa, you really fucked up," and follows Darian.
You make it back to the van. This address, as I say, it's only, a mile and a half away.
I kind of want to catch up to Darian
Okay.
before he gets too far. Are you
He's waiting.
Darian?
You froze a second there, Sarah.
Oh. Is Darian walking or getting back in the car?
He's waiting. He's waiting for you.
Okay, I just want to grab you and just kind of push you up against the car a little bit and get in your face. And okay, I need to know that you can keep this in fucking check.
I am not the one who walked behind a demon into an alley. And I'm getting in your face now. You are in over your head.
You are getting too emotional about this. I've been doing this for years.
So have I, and I have not. And I don't have a bandage on my face. I push you back a little.
I do my best, just stand there. It's I need to know that you can watch our backs. Okay, you going like this, you're gonna get someone killed.
I'm not going to get
someone else
killed. I'm sending him back to hell. I know how to do this.
That's what we're going to do, yes. But you can't go in the way you are.
Fine. fine.
Are you two gonna keep arguing, or are you gonna get this fucking show on the road?
Yes,
And Darian's
please.
just looking to Izzy like, oh no, the adults are fighting, and then, oh no, Izzy's scary too, and he's just, I'm out of my league.
Can you keep it
Fine.
together?
Of course.
It's like give you a really hard look, and then it's like, okay, and step back.
Izzy, you got your shotgun out. Are you hopping behind the wheel of the van and tearing off?
Oh yeah.
Everybody
That's
gets in.
reasonable.
The side door closes as you peel out, heading through the night across Chicago Heights. And, moving back through these neighborhoods, you're not sure why, but it's like the streets are empty. It's like everyone around sort of, perhaps it's all these rumors, but everybody is staying indoors. The few people you see on the street have that kind of furtive look as they're moving quickly to get to where they're going. And as you pull up to the address, you see it's an old stone house. It's got kind of stone columns for the porch. There's no lights on inside except for one in an upstairs window. On either side of it is kind of an open, a little bit of open lot. And then across the street are some businesses, but they got those chain link things that they pull down. They're all closed. The street lights have that look of having been, there are only a couple are still owned on this street. The rest have been shot out. Usually that means that like a drug dealer or someone has this as a territory and they don't want the lights on. So the cameras can't catch them and stuff like that. But it gives that weird interspersed white light shining in the street as you pull up to this house. I'm guessing that since you're driving, Izzy, you've got to kind of stop, grab your stuff. So who manages to get out first? Is it you, Jane?
I mean, I want to get like some things before we just rush in.
Gotcha. So then, Darian, are you just opening the door and stalking forward?
I have my stuff with me, what I think I need.
Darian?
Yeah.
Hold up. This is exactly what I meant.
Did you hold?
Hurry up, agent. I wasn't actually storming into the house. I was waiting for people, but it's okay. It's maybe it looked like that a bit.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, what kind of stuff does Izzy have in your car? Because we're taking it all.
I've got some guns for me.
Guns don't do much against these things.
I mean, there's a person in there. Guns do a lot of stuff against persons.
We're gonna need more than that, I think.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much all I got. That's all we're going with.
Okay.
We can't. There's nothing we can do against these demons except send Frank back to hell.
And we know how to do that, right? I think.
I know how to do that.
Okay.
I know how to do that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe knows the stuff. Let him do his thing.
Yeah, maybe though it could be that there might be some opposition to that. That's
okay. You have everything you need.
Where you come in? Yeah, I need you to keep me hands free. Yeah, I need you to keep me alive. Exactly.
Okay. There's probably a back entrance too. So I want
to get. Before we go in, I go up to you and whisper to you, and please keep Izzy alive too.
Right, are we doing this?
And meanwhile,
Shotgun.
Julian's just pulling out his concealed carry revolver, like, yeah, I'm an FBI agent.
And Alex, you were saying?
Good luck, newbie. This me shotgun door. Yes? We doing this?
Well, I mean, we should cover both entrances.
Dibs front.
Okay, I'll take the back.
All right.
You, Guy. Julian, with me.
I'm a real FBI agent.
I'm staying with Izzy.
And as Julian, perhaps, while they've been grabbing all these things, you just really, you had your gun. You were probably the only one who had kept a constant look up at the house.
I think I would have too.
Okay.
As much as I
kind
can.
of scanning. So I'm going to say, Julian, you see that curtain in that upstairs window sort of move, but both of you see that light go out.
Second story?
Second story.
Okay.
I will relay as much to Jane.
Okay, and we're moving off fast.
All right. As the two of you split, or the two groups split. Izzy, I'm guessing that you're kind of taking the lead on the front door with Darian, you going behind Izzy. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't send him back if I get hit. So, and Izzy has as much cost as I do.
And I'm guessing that, Jane, you're probably in front of Juliet as you come around to the back. So, Izzy, as you get to that front door, you could see that this is a, heavy door. You could try to kick it down, but it ain't going to be easy. There's a, pretty heavy lock on it.
Is that a stone house?
It's a stone house.
Oh, damn.
That's crossed the gun effort threshold. So I'll see if the shotgun can, make quick work of the lock.
No, don't do that. It's way too loud.
I love it.
This is a residential neighborhood.
So you put down the shotgun towards the lock, and I think we'll have you roll an act under pressure. Not so much for blowing the lock off. You're going to manage that. It's what's going to happen afterwards.
It's plus cool, right?
That's correct.
That's a 12.
Oh, fantastic. So, bam! And you guys at the back can definitely hear the sound of that shotgun going off. As you blast that lock, and it just shatters the door frame, and the lock where it connects, and that door sort of bangs open. And waiting right inside of that door, you see a pretty young lady. I'm supposing that Julian showed you the picture that Shelley had shown of the woman that was with Becca at the bar. It's that woman. And she's got a big fucking gun. But with your act under pressure, I'm going to give you the choice here. Do you want to try and get the shot off first before she could shoot you, which I'm going to give you a -1 forward for a kick some ass there? Or would you rather just dodge out of the way? And you've made that act under pressure. You could just get that one. Now, of course, Julian
can't just back off.
Yeah, Darian's right behind you.
Everything's pointing towards shoot. So I'll go for that.
All right. Then let's
You'll
roll
say.
some kick some ass as you fire. I mean, just to try and get that shot off first.
It was the one-liner of, "You look like one that'd scream."
Oh yeah. So rolling tough at -1 plus. You are at +1 still because you were in pursuit of your prey.
Yes, that makes it an 8 plus 2 tough -1 +1 is 10 total.
Oh yeah. All right. You get, first off, you're going to hit her, and you get the extra effect of either you can gain advantage and take +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another of the hunters, which in this case would be probably Darian, because that's who's with you. You can inflict terrible harm, meaning you'll do an extra point of harm with that shotgun, which already is doing pretty good damage, if I remember correctly. It's doing 3 harms. That'd be 4. You have a good chance of just that would almost certainly kill her. Or you could suffer less harm because she's going to get a shot off. Or you could force them where you want them, which I don't know if that's what you want, but you could like maneuver her out of the way with the shot as well. Hit her and knock her to the side. What you think you want, Alex?
Yeah, the time for play is over, so I'm gonna inflict as much harm as possible.
Bam! And it hits her full in the chest. Blood explodes out as she falls back, and you could hear her kind of gasp. And she fires. But because she's falling, it's not going to hit you. But it's probably going to hit Darian. Unless you want to try and do a protect someone.
I mean, I gotta. This is my fight. I took the shot.
You don't have to protect me, but hey, it's your decision.
You're a friend, Darian. I gotta protect you.
Cool.
And I have a move for it.
Yay!
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So it's an automatic 10+, but I can't choose to suffer little harm.
All right. So with the automatic 10+, all you get the choice of. Okay, first off, you're going to protect them. So it's going to be. It's not going to hit Darian. But all impending danger is now focused on you, or you inflict harm on the enemy, which you may not need to do. She's probably down. Or you hold the enemy back. Now, with that hold the enemy back and focus, I think we can bleed that over to Frank, because he is inside this building. Which would you like to choose?
I definitely want all focus on me.
All right. But that's, as you see her fire and you know where it's going, you step into the way, and that bullet catches you in the shoulder. It's going to do, let's see. Yeah, it's a big gun. So it's going to do 3 points of damage to you. Do you have your protective vest though? So
I do.
That's only going to be 2. So you take 2 harm.
Do I get rid of the vest now, or does it stick around?
It's still there.
Sweet ass.
As that girl has fallen back and she's just gasping, you hear her going, "Daddy, Daddy." Around back, Jane, you've reached the back door.
Okay, I want to see if it's unlocked first.
Okay, and you've heard now several shots going off in the front room. And she reached down and turned the knob, and it is unlocked.
Okay. Look back at, names. Julian. And,
I've seen enough movies that have all these kind of gestures. I'm all I'm ready to go. I know what I'm doing. I'm an FBI agent.
Okay, so I was looking at my gear. I also have a submachine gun. So I guess that was in the car.
You probably had a bag that when you came from the motel, yeah.
Okay,
So you
so
got your submachine gun?
yeah, I think like that's like slung over my shoulder and like the 9mm in my hand. But yeah, open the door. Like trying to be quieter than the front.
As you open up the door, it leads into the kitchen back there. And you could hear the sound of the scuffle, and you could hear kind of the shouting, and as that last gunshot's going off up there. But it's dark in here. There's not even a street lights. It's just like a little bit of moonlight coming in here. Julian, you're coming in behind. I'd like for you to read a sitch there, a bad sitch there, Jane. That's
Where am
with
I looking?
sharp. Read a bad situation with sharp.
Oh, okay. Ooh. That is 8 minus 1 is 7.
So you get to hold 1. So coming in here and looking around this place, what question would you like to ask?
Okay. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
That's a good choice. As you're looking around and you kind of glance back over your shoulder, you could see a figure has stepped out of the bushes outside. Perhaps that's why the back door was unlocked, and is reaching towards Julian.
Down.
As you could see that red muscle, bare face, and smiling over Julian's shoulder and opening his mouth.
So I yell for you to duck.
I think that needs an act under pressure there, Julian, if you wish to quickly follow that.
I don't have cool. So that's a 4.
Maybe
I should use my luck. Yeah, so I am totally out of luck, but I get a 12.
So with that 12, I'm going to give you the option here. Are you going to drop and go forward, or do you want to drop and go back, as in like knocking into the legs of this person behind you?
Oh, don't knock him down, because I'm going to shoot him in the face.
And go back, because I have seen action movies. I know how this goes.
All right.
Helping.
So, Julian drops down and nimbly kind of chop blocks, basically, into the legs, into the knees of this figure who is completely caught by surprise, and kind of, his knee bends and sort of staggers forward. As I'm going to let you get off that kick some ass, if that's what you're trying to do, and shoot him.
Yes, please. With all the bullets in my submachine gun. That is a 6 plus 2 is 8. Can I really want to, can I do luck?
You definitely can. Yeah, this is a good time for it. All right, so with kick some ass at a 10, you're going to get to choose an extra thing. So you're going to do your harm with your submachine gun. Theoretically, he's close enough to get to you to do an attack back if, circumstances turn out that way. So as your extra effect, you want to gain a +1 forward or give a +1 forward to Julian for the next roll. You want to inflict terrible harm, that would do an extra harm to Frank, suffer less harm yourself, or force them where you want them. You're going to do your regular damage no matter what.
Terrible harm.
Okay. So how much does submachine gun do? 3? I'm sorry, you're muted.
Yeah, 3.
All right. So 4 damage as it sprays into him, and blood just goes flying out. And like you catch him across the face, and it tears like half of his skull off, so you could see like his brain there. It catches him across, because it's a spray submachine gun, so it starts cuts across the chest, and you could see where he'd had that trench coat on and the hoodie. It like he falls back from it, and it's blasted open, just cut through that hoodie, so that you could see that muscle just goop sort of chest, and you could see that there's nothing for his stomach cavity, just the guts in there. And as they hit, they fly out and around him, and he staggers back out and down the stairs to the back door, landing real heavy into the kind of patio back behind him. You could hear kind of a squish sound as he hits. And Julian, as you've kind of rolled back into him, you could see him laying there. And I mean, it's just blood and gore. And that's why you're so surprised when his head and looks at you. Such sweet pain. And he sits up.
I want to yell to everyone else. We're in the back.
All right. As you're yelling that, Darian, you've gotten into, you've come in to this room. You see that girl is, she's about to go, and she's just whimpering, Daddy, Daddy. What are you doing?
Do I see this orb thing somewhere around the room?
I'm gonna let you.
I'm not only going at a glance, because if I don't see it, I will try to get it out of her.
So let's have you roll an act under pressure, but I'm gonna have you roll it with sharp, because you're trying to scan this room rather than with cool.
Cool. I'm better at that anyway. I've got 10.
Oh, fantastic. As you're looking around, you can see up on a shelf at the end of, kind of where it's got a fireplace. It's got the hearth over the top, and the shelves on either side. You can see where there's this, like a shrine. You can see where there are these candles that have burned down, and the wax has just run down the wall. You can see there's an upside down crucifix behind it, and sitting on a pedestal is that orb.
Yeah, and I'm the man with the plan, so I'm gonna grab that orb. I turn to Izzy and tell her, keep them off my back. Keep me alive until I can do this. This is magic now. And
Izzy, she's over there kind of coughing and sputtering. Maria is her name. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I've got to keep Frank off of her, right? Off of him. So I'll pull out my knife and get in between the two.
Oh, okay. So you drop down, ready for whatever comes.
Do you have a holy knife, Izzy?
No.
Knife? Then take mine. This is a demon kind of guy.
All right. So you hand over your knife?
Yeah, we'll exchange knives. I'm gonna need a knife for my ritual, I think. I can take hers.
As you've got this orb in your hand, it's warm to begin with, but it almost throbs in your hand. You remember having read about this.
Oh, that takes me back to the days of my youth.
If you wish to try to use this, you're going to have to solve the puzzle. You're going to roll with sharp. I believe I'd given you a +1 forward from your research you'd done on it before.
Yeah.
So why don't you see what you managed to do with that?
Oh, wow. I've got 5, 7, 8. But I think I'll use my luck. I want a 12 on that.
All right. As you turn one of the bands, sort of twist a piece at the top, the orb suddenly on its own begins to move. Click. Separates. Tick, 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 tick. And as it does so, the windows, a red light sort of passes over them. Out in the street behind you, the few remaining street lights explode into sparks, raining down on the street. Out back, Julian, you see Frank has sat up. He looks. You can't stop me. I'm going to eat until there's nothing left. And you see him start to scramble like he's going to try and run away. He's going to try and get away from y'all.
Yeah, okay,
what do you
sure.
do?
And I'm going to try to empty my revolver into him.
Same.
Fantastic. All right. So let's have the both of you. Why don't we have... let's have you roll a kick some ass, Julian, because you've got kind of the best angle at the moment. And then I'm going to have you, Jane, roll an act under pressure to get out there and begin firing off into him as well. That sound good? Okay. So, Julian, why don't we have your shot first?
Wow. Okay. Oh, phew, I've got flat tough. So that's a 6, and I'm out of luck. So it doesn't work.
Well, okay. So at the moment, I'm having you roll that act under pressure, Jane.
Okay.
But if you want, you could instead do a help out. But that means you're not going to shoot at Frank. It means that you're going to, well, you're going to be shooting in that direction, but it's more you're going to be angling Frank so that Julian can get that shot off. Would you rather do that or that act under pressure where you spray?
I was gonna go for my 9mm instead. I got a 10. But I know like the bullets don't do anything, so I will help out instead.
All right.
In the hopes that we can like stop him.
And that was both of those were cool, so it was the same roll. So as you fire, Frank sort of tries to dodge. You know, he's trying to move where you're shooting, Jane. But because of where he dodges, as Julian, you said you were unloading. So it's just pow, 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 pow. That last shot, he dodges over and you catch him right behind the knee. And you see his kneecap just explode out of the front of his leg. And it buckles underneath him. And I'm guessing you're still like click, 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 click of the gun.
Click, 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 and like screaming or something. I'm kind of freaking out.
And Frank falls down and, you know, he can't run, but he's still like clawing across the ground. And it looks like he's trying to just make it to like a storm drain and dive down it.
I want to run. Oh, sorry.
Okay. But back at the front of the house, Izzy, you're standing there with this knife as the TV starts staticking in the living room. You see a face begin flashing on it. It's that granite-faced nun just flashing on the screen. From the side, you see the stairway. You see this nun's habit and a knife as coming down the stairway. It's that one with the horns. She's got that knife, and as she down the wall, it leaves this trail as the wall begins to bleed down. And then coming through the doorway in this red mist is Mother Superior Gullah. You call us. Do you want the pain and the pleasure? As she looks at you, Julian. I mean,
Darian. No, we want to give you Frank.
Frank. Where is Frank?
I'm looking at Izzy like, where is Frank? Why isn't he here? Why isn't he attacking us?
That back being riddled with bullets.
The Mother Superior smiles, and as she walks by, she takes her fingers and just rubs them slightly down your cheek, Darian, and it feels so painful and so exquisite across you. I could show you such terrible pleasures. But as she walks by, she walks past the stairway as the one with the horns falls into place behind her. In the kitchen, Jane, you're rushing out to try and grab hold of Frank?
No, I would like to walk up beside him and shoot him in the head.
Oh, excellent. You move over there, and he's clawing away at it, and you just bow back of the head. And I mean, his head, and he looks at you, but he doesn't stop. He just keeps going, bam, bam. And he looks back.
Again.
Ah, suffer the little children to come unto me.
Again.
Bam! And it's at that moment that coming beside you, these chains, they grab into the back of Frank. And he has just kind of reached the edge of the curb, looks over his shoulder, and you follow his gaze. And Julian, you're there at the bottom of the stairs as just right above you, Mother Superior Gullah.
Do you mean Julian or Darian?
I'm sorry, Julian. Yeah, Julian, this is you at the bottom of the stairs where you've been shooting at Frank.
Okay,
coming
out
out
the top of the stairs. I got it.
Yeah, coming out the top of at the back door, you see this terrifying figure, and she's lifted her hands, and from the darkness, those chains came spiking out to grab him. She pulls back like this, and the chains drag him, and he's scratching at the ground. You can see the blood and where it's peeling away the skin from his fingers.
I am getting out of the way.
Frank, we've missed you.
Julian's screaming, but like in a dignified, cool sort of way.
Izzy, have you followed these things out?
Oh, of course. I cannot miss this.
As you come out, and the Mother Superior has just sort of glide-stepped down the stairs as Frank's being drugged. On either side of her are the two sisters. You see Frank look back, and he's the terror in that, just at this point, ruined face. No. No. Mother Superior lifts her arms, and the chains drag him up. The two sisters move forward, and you see their hands grab him on either bicep. And as they squeeze in, blood trickles from their fingers. Mother, And chains from every side just into his body. As he, such terrible pleasure. And the chains, and he's ripped apart, blood spraying all around in this vast mist. The two sisters step into that mist, and it's sort of to them. And then as it comes into them, they seem to implode with this high-pitched scream. Disappear as the Mother Superior looks back, looks at you, Izzy, and looks beyond you to where Darian is still holding this sphere.
Yeah, I've come a bit closer to everybody. Step behind.
She looks at you, Izzy, and Jane, you're kind of like looking at the back of her because you were there with Frank.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get in the way of those chains because I've seen them before.
And Julian, I mean, you're right there. She's just above you. And she's, like 7 foot tall of this enormous, terrifying creature. She reaches, and it's kind of almost like that just float. Just her hand reaches out and carries her as she moves over to you, Izzy. I am sorry for your loss. And she moves her hand like this towards you, Julian. And you could feel that sphere kind of like pulling. Do you want to keep the sphere and close it, sending her back with you keeping the sphere?
Yes.
Are you going to let it come to her?
No, I think I want to send her back and keep the sphere.
Oh, so
I mean, come on, this knowledge.
Let's have you.
No, that's a bad plan. Why?
Roll that sharp.
Totally
once
great
again.
plan.
You do not have the +1 for sealing her back. You just had the opening the gate, not the closing the gate.
That's totally okay. I still got a luck point.
It's true.
But I've rolled an 11, so I don't even need it.
As you sort of move your fingers around, and with this almost like chime, it closes back. The Mother Superior looks at you. I will be waiting for you.
Oh, damn.
Good job, Darian.
As she moves back from you, Izzy, do you say anything to her?
I'll be waiting to send you right back next time.
She smiles. And as she steps back off the stairs, she doesn't go down. She just simply moves back. And it's like watching, like if you were the back of a bus or a train as it's flying down, just moving at great speed. She just suddenly just like disappears into the distance, though she doesn't move. It's just like, and that screeching noise as into one red spot, and it sucks in on itself. And we're going to have a quick epilogue from each of you after to tell us what happens after this night. It can be immediately after, or it can be down the road, however you wish. I'm going to start. I think I'm going to end with those who had their loved ones taken last. So I'll start with you, Jane. What epilogue do we see from Special Agent Jane Smith?
Okay, so in quick flashes, we see her climbing into a rental car and then standing in the security line at the airport, and then on the airplane, like drinking a cocktail in a one of those glasses, go like that. And then walking into her office with the lights off, she flips them on and it's just desk paper. And she sits down and opens her email and there's the next assignment. And she receives booking an airplane ticket. And the bandage is off now. But there's still the little bite scar.
It. Oh, I love it. And it's a little scar, but it's very distinctive that it's that bite. Oh, love it. Back to work. Back to the next monster. Julian, what do we see in the future?
So, sometime in the future, not too long, this long essay about the whole experience of tracking down the resurrected, grody, flayed monster version of Frank Tillerson goes up under Julian's online handle, complete with stuff like, I know that sounds a bit far-fetched, but I'm an FBI agent, you can trust me, and that kind of stuff. And that there were a lot of people that he doesn't want to name for their own safety, but the FBI was officially involved, and some other people with a lot of cred, a lot of ties to the original Frank Tillerson. And it is quite an engrossing read.
And as you put it up, we just start seeing the views click, 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 and faster as the views begin to tally up. Izzy, what do we see in the future for you?
I'm not sure, because I kind of want to use the sphere. But I'm not sure if Darian's going to use the sphere.
Well, Darian, would you like to do yours? Yeah.
Darian's going to keep the sphere. So I imagine this will be a few years in the future, maybe. You see a bit of gray in Darian's hair. What you also see is where the Mother Superior touched him in the face. You see that there are two very wide lines, not like scars, but the skin is discolored. And with his dark skin, you see this very, very well. And he's sitting somewhere in his laboratory, and you can see he's got this kind of a hunted look. There is some kind of paraphernalia lying around, and nothing about this screams, this is good magic, or this is healthy, what he's doing. He looks kind of emaciated, and he has this sphere in his hand, and he's looking at it, and you can see that he's kind of thinking about how to use it, and he's playing around with parts of it, so it's like a puzzle. And and then something clicks, and his face goes it's not clear. It's either, oh crap, or it's, oh yes.
And that's where we end scene it. So Izzy, what do we see?
Oh, I think we see a shot of someone running down an alleyway, or a shot rings out and they fall down. We see Izzy stalk over, wipe a hand on the body, and lick the blood off. Such wonderful screams.
Oh my. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all are punished. Thank you all for playing. I hope that it was terrible, horrible fun. We're already at 2:02, so I'm not going to do any sort of like full-on roses and thorns or anything like that. But I think it's always nice if maybe we'll just do something like a stars. So what a star is just say something, your players, this scenario, which is really well written, something you really enjoyed about it. And, kind of a handing out a little bit of love here at the end after that dark and horrible story. So, Alex, any stars?
Stars to Sarah for being the straight cop to my loose cannon. It was so much fun to play off. We are the best partners ever, no matter what you say.
Ryan, any stars?
I mean, stars all around because Darian was so just straight and perfect to play off of, and I was just aggressively weird. He's like, okay, sure, but we're researching demons now, which, how do you say that with a straight face? It's amazing. I love it. And Sarah was just such a professional. I mean, that's what it says on the tin, I suppose. But amongst all of our aggressive weirdness, just, okay, but we're doing this by the book, but I'm going back to the FBI afterward. And no, you guys don't have credentials. You're all just really weird people. And Alex's cosplay. Star for that. And also, you can't see it if you're watching this, but I've been screaming in the chat, like, Alex, no. Izzy, no. No, no. Through the entire game. It's been amazing. Like,
wonderful.
I'm texting other people at the moment going like, so Alex is cosplaying, and I think they're the new bad guy, and what the fuck?
Thank you.
I got a Slack message from Lauren saying, Alex, what is happening? I heard you're cosplaying again.
Sabine, any stars?
Yeah, stars all around.
Oh, you went mute on us, dear.
Okay, no. Okay, again, stars all around. First to you, Tyler, for running this and for playing these amazing NPCs. That old lady, I had a weird encounter with a nun, and that took me back. So, also stars to Ryan for screaming but in a dignified fashion. That was amazing. And to Sarah for going into the alley with the creepy monsters alone, of course, and then not shooting them because that's not procedure. That was great. And of course to Izzy, to Alex for cosplaying, for sitting around with these sunglasses the whole time, and for blowing off the door just like, there is no compromise here. And I think in the end we will end up being mortal enemies. Izzy, I'm sorry, but we will.
I could so see that.
Oh yeah, totally.
And Sarah, any stars?
Yes, all of you guys. To Darian for being just so driven and hurt and just like pain everywhere. To Julian for screaming and being my backup and impersonating an FBI agent.
It's not impersonating. I'm a consultant.
Easy. Impersonating an FBI agent, becoming the new serial killer. That was awesome and terrible.
Thank you.
And Tyler, though. It was so atmospheric. And I love that scene in the alleyway where turn around and no, the room is not the same as it was before. And just everything just went so much downhill from there. And it was so atmospheric and just your voices are great. Good job.
Thank you. And stars to all of you. Thank you for leaning into the whole horror aspect of it. Every character seemed like they had very real reasons for what they did. And I thought that's always so nice. And when we have such a short game, to grab a hold of what that character is and be able to just drive the wheels right off of it. And y'all knocked it out of the park. Alex, I always love what you do. But that badassness of Izzy is just, oh my God. That chunk of the shotgun. You know, are we going? I mean, it was beautiful. And then there were so many sweet points, but there was something really nice about slamming that priest up against the wall and just like, you tell me what this was. Thought it was awesome. Ryan, always a delight to play with you, but loved Julian, loved the enthusiasm of Julian, I loved how you used your moves, which, you know, I hate to dip into a star that's so mechanical because your role-playing was amazing too. But you used your moves to support that role-playing beautifully. I mean, it was just really, really well done. Sabine, I was scared of Darian. There was something so dark and wounded about Darian, and it rang true. And it was kind of neat to see at the beginning, you know, seemed like it was, you know, someone who was very business and not emotional, to move to, as it progressed, that anger coming more and more to the fore, and then to be tempted at the end. To be tempted. Oh, such a nice choice. And Sarah, I haven't gotten to play with you before, but God Almighty, I hope I get to play with you more. You are wonderful. That character was, it was nice to see someone take a character and really play them straight like they're supposed to be. That you felt like what a policeman, an FBI agent would do, and you didn't take shit. I mean, it was nice to see you know, look, we got to get this shit together. You can't be this emotional, or you know, we can't just go in there and beat up this old woman to find out her stuff. I thought that was great. So kudos to every one of you. I love playing this module. I think it's a blast. There's something about it that I love. Every time I play it, it gets to be a somewhat different story. I think Rona may be one of my favorite characters just because of how pitiful and sad she is. I think it's always a cool reveal about the kid. I always think that reveal pays off. And so I want to thank Ollie Jeffrey for making this really first-rate adventure. Every little piece of it is written wonderfully. So thank you guys so much for playing.
I'm going to cut in with a star that I didn't put in the first place, because star for you, because I played a two-shot of this, and this was very different. I was like, can't metagame or anything, and oh my goodness, I could have not predicted how this would play out. Because
Thank you.
A different game, it was fun. And it was really fun to see your Eunice in person, because I love her so much, and I hate her so much. She's awful.
Oh, she's horrible.
You do a great gossipy southern nun lady.
Love Eunice. So I'm going to stop the broadcast here in just a second, but I had a wonderful GauntletCon. I hope you guys had a wonderful GauntletCon too. Folks, if you get a chance that you happen to be watching, join Gauntlet. They're some of the best folks in the world, and we do amazing things. And if you haven't watched any of my stuff before, watch more. So thank you all, and I'm stopping the broadcast.